Soul Train, third degree, SB on site. Yeah, we about to do it to y'all. Yeah, here we go. Let's go.
We came to blow your mind.
One time, two times, three times. Yeah.
We came to blow your mind.
Three times, two times, one time.
Yeah, what's good,
Soul
people?
Train.
What's good?
Third
Welcome to Drop
degree.
Your 3 Cent. I'm your boy, Third Degree. We got Quez in the house. How are you, bruh?
Man, I'm good, brother. How you doing, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm cool, man. Long week. I was over here trying to figure some things out. I'm still trying to get the swing of this thing, so man, trying to make it work, man. How about you, bro?
That's always a work in progress, brother. But progress is the key word.
Word, man. I feel it, man.
Loving it.
Man, before we get started, I gotta give a shout out. I just got my Spotify rap gear and rap, whatever. I hadn't really been, pushing and promoting the music a whole lot because we've been trying to build up this platform right here, but I still see that I got a pretty good, decent amount of numbers, and I think I was like top 10 amongst like 134 fans, and then like top like 5 amongst like 10. So the simple fact that people out there, bumping the music and keeping me pumping on Spotify, I truly, truly appreciate it. I'm humbled. I appreciate you. Thank you. If you're watching and you're on here, if you have me in your top 10 or even in your top 5, well, yeah, we'll do the top 5. If you have me in your top 5, send me a screenshot of that, and I'm gonna send you a free Third Degree t-shirt. So that's how we're gonna do that.
Man, let me go ahead and jump on Spotify real quick. Make sure I'm in that top 5. Give me a free t-shirt one time for the one time.
Man, I'm saying they showing me love, man. 55 some different countries, bro. Like,
that's a beautiful thing.
They can barely speak English, but they rocking with your boy Third. So, man, it's always a blessing. It's always a blessing.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Hey, Golden Flame, how you doing? Yeah, we got a controversial show tonight. So we was going over some topics, and I sent this video into the group, and it created a spirited debate. So we figured, hey, why not just save it and bring it on for the show?
Is that what we call it? A spirited debate?
A heated spirited debate. Golden Flame, I feel you. I feel you on that. My heart, my prayers are with you still. You know what I'm saying? You and I know, but I'm still with you. I'm rocking with you.
Right on.
But man, yeah, it was a spirited one. So yeah, in this week's news, because we touched on some of these topics, Diddy has caught himself another case. And he stepped down as chairman of Revolt.
I think that was the best business move for him.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, man. And also in other news, I seen Jeezy. Jeannie Ma is now claiming, or she's trying to insinuate that maybe there may have been some infidelity on Jeezy's part, which is going to give her grounds to break the prenup that's in place. I don't know. He was just over here saying that, real men don't cheat. So I guess we shall see. No.
Are you shocked, sir?
No.
Are you astonished?
I'm appalled.
Are you a Negro named Paul? When did you change your name?
Jeez Louise, man. You got anything that you seen out there, bro?
Man, I see stuff all the time, man. It's social media is a crazy place.
It's a crazy world to live in.
It's a crazy place, man. All I can ever say, and I'll continue to say, is that I got out of the spectrum of dating and trying to navigate that world so long ago.
Word.
because just looking at it from the outside in, I don't know how I would manage.
Right.
I really don't.
Yeah, Golden Flame, I feel you. Social media is a jungle. I mean, I don't know. We've been seeing like some wild stuff just happen as of late, and we're gonna speak on a little bit of that. That's part of so today's topics are stepdad checks bio dad by saying he's the father now and that he needed to step away. This is the one that caused the great debate in the group. Another topic that we're going to touch on tonight is, does social media ruin the idea of relationships, or the confinement of relationships, or does it really ruin relationships, period? Also, we're going to talk about, is media and social media dumbing down today's kids, or today's music and social media dumbing down today's kids, because I've seen some ultimately some ratchet stuff. I've seen some young sexy reds in the training, and I'm not really cool with how I see the direction of where our youth is heading. So yeah, we gonna unpack tonight.
My people, my people.
You said that's a 50-50 on that. I
I
feel you. Hey, what's up, Good Business? I see Good Business, Golden Flame. Jessica, what's good with you? I'm sorry, Brian, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, I was just saying, man. I feel sorry for my people, man.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. We got a rough path ahead. Yeah, you know, usually I got a lot to say, and I try to find something insightful to say.
Just
right now,
say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Get it off
your
chest.
Right now, my chest is touching my back, man. When it comes to this, man, it's just sad. But
right,
there's still light at the end of the tunnel, man. Because we got people like us, and I'm pretty sure there's a plethora of other individuals out there trying to change the narrative. And if you are one of those people, I just tell you, man, keep going. As frustrating as it may be, keep fighting. Keep fighting the good fight, man. You know
right.
So we got to change this.
We got to change it. All right, y'all. So with that being said, we're getting ready to start the show. We got Queen D on deck. We got Letitia on deck. Melvin's probably out somewhere sucking toes. But remember, if you want to get drop your 3-cent merch, just go to kingthird.net. I just got to lay some house rules real quick. If you want to become, or if you want to come on camera, if you want to be a guest, if you see that, we're not really, if you want to just go ahead and put the 3 in the comments, we'll send you the link. When you come on, just please make sure you have your headphones on. You got your Wi-Fi connected. You're somewhere where it's nice and quiet. We don't need no background noise. We don't need, insurance. We don't need, gunshots. We don't need nobody, crimpling paper. We don't need nobody, doing anything else. Just try to just keep it nice and presentable, because we are now officially kind of like worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Like YouTube can go over so many different countries. We want to make ourselves presentable as much as possible. We don't want to look ignorant. We don't want to look ethnic. We don't want to look toe down. We want to give ourselves the best light in case this gets picked up. Also, we do have people watching. I just got an email today of someone say he's a fan of the show. And, so I want to shout you out, sir. We'll definitely link. I'll link back up with you sometime like this weekend. But yeah, man. Oh, also, if you do come on camera, make sure that you hit share the destination. You can share that with your Facebook people, your YouTube people, your Twitter people, your LinkedIn people, anywhere that you choose to share, you can share that link and it'll broadcast everywhere. Therefore, your people can watch it, other people can watch it. The more numbers, the better, because we're trying to grow this platform, and you'll be doing us a huge favor. Also, make sure that, we can agree to disagree, but just make sure you keep it nice and respectful. Limit the cursing. We don't want to be, in case we got pastors, we got old mothers or old aunties watching. We just want to just kind of be somewhat presentable, but let's just be loose and have fun and be ourselves too. So, did I miss anything?
No, I think you covered all the bases with that, man.
All right, and also for the YouTube folks, make sure you like the share button. Huh?
Get y'all microphones together. Don't come on here causing a ruckus with your bad mics. Your Obama phones, you know what I mean? Come on, we trying to do a production here. All right. So don't take it personal if we kick you off the stage because you got a bad connection. No, I'm so serious. Like, you know, I don't want people to be like, oh, I was trying to talk and they kicked me off the stage. If you jump up here with all that reverb and background noise and stuff, we just gonna remove you. It's nothing personal. It's production. You know, we trying to run a professional show here. But what's up, Queens? How y'all doing?
Hello.
We
How are
good.
you?
Doing good.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
What you sapping on? What
Got
you
my
sapping on?
glass right here.
Okay, yeah, I seen you said you was going to the store. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
plus it's the weekend before my birthday, so
Hey,
Yeah.
Sagittarius season in the house.
right. Yeah, but
All
this
right,
topic
y'all.
I had to get some wine. I'm
Okay.
ready.
This is gonna be a
Is
doozy.
it organic?
So,
Is it organic wine? Is it?
Is it vegan wine? Is that what you're asking me? No.
I'm just asking, man.
No.
You got
I'm a
some of this?
plant-based.
oh, what's
Hey,
that?
see?
What I know what you got a bottle of Ace of Spades over there, so what you got cracking?
Some bottles, some Moet.
Okay.
Hey.
Big baller shot
Baller
call over
status
there.
over here.
Mhm.
Man,
See, you
done.
done made us get a bottle. See, look at you.
let's do it,
Yeah,
though.
for this topic,
Right.
Yeah,
I need a
this
bottle.
is gonna be a doozy. Yeah,
The,
I got
the
my
chat
apple
was
juice.
that bad.
I'm gonna settle for this right now.
All
Just get my
right,
Sprite.
so you already know what to do, Quiz.
Oh,
Man, sir, what is the word today?
Man, the third word, influence. Webster's dictionary or Webster's definition of the word influence is the capacity to have the effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself. Example, the influence of television violence. So, how it correlates with today is because we have a lot of people who, especially the younger generation, they want to be influencers, quote unquote. They want to be famous for essentially doing nothing. They want other people to follow their lead, which has been causing dissension amongst households, amongst relationships, amongst just in general lives, because people are they're being influenced, and then they later on try to emulate. And so now we're living in a time where everybody's pretty much emulating somebody else, or they're emulating what they see. And I'm not sure if we had this third word for the day of influence, but again, we're on a whole nother platform, so I felt like we had to bring it back, and I felt like it really goes along with what we're talking about tonight, because each of the things that we're talking about, there's been some type of power of influence. And I don't know if it's been necessarily for the good, for the bad, or for the ugly, but it relates to a lot of things, and especially within the children. You know, children are impressionable, especially between the ages from 0 up to like 7 or 9. So they're watching a lot of the stuff that they're seeing, whether it be from their parents, whether it be from TV, whether it be from hip hop, whether it be from just even their friends, and they're being influenced. And a lot of the influence that we're seeing has been for the worst. So as we get in today, this is where we're gonna see. You're gonna see the common thread of influence. So today's third word was brought to you by Crown Royal apple, mixed in with a little bit of apple juice, mixed in with a I said what the funk I said. So
Wow, that boy is silly right there.
Adoration, I see we're gonna bring you on to the Stiz age.
What's up?
Hello. Hey guys.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
Where you at this time?
I'm still in Bangkok, Thailand. I haven't moved
okay.
yet, but that could change in the next couple of months.
Mama Tucker, how you doing?
I had a
Doing
bar.
good,
I'm
doing
gonna leave it
good.
alone.
Sorry, I'm a little late.
What's up, mom? Don't
Quiz,
come
does
here.
your
Don't
mom
come
really
here.
call you Idris?
Stop it. Don't come in here with that. That is unnecessary. Stop it, please.
All right, y'all. So let's get it cracking. Let's just deep dive right into this one. So
Oh yeah. Hold on, let me fix the seat.
we've been waiting. I'm waiting all day for this one, you know. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so anyway, on social media, speaking of the devil, there has been a video. I don't know whether it's staged or not, but it does spark a real good conversation between it's something between a stepfather and a biological father. And essentially the father, I guess, showed up to the birthday party for the kid, and he just brought some kids, but he ain't really been showing up. And it caused the creative some type of emotion. You just watch.
Thank
We
you.
got it. We got the clip.
What's going on? You wasn't picking your phone up. I was trying to say happy birthday.
Yeah. Because you shouldn't be here. That's why.
Well, we're just having a birthday party with the family.
That's why she wasn't answering the phone. But I was trying to. That's why she wasn't answering the phone, because you shouldn't be Family, here. right? Family. This was. You shouldn't be here. Family.
He
Can we?
set this up kind of. So,
Right.
I mean,
Oh, okay. Right. Because you ain't been here. Boy. Because you ain't. King.
Yo, what are you doing?
We not about to do this.
You
You have not been here. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. We're not even doing this. Come on. Come on.
Been here.
Over here first, though.
Well, no.
You ain't been here.
Oh my
Get
God.
the stuff in, bro. Like,
Oh my
this is
God.
not even. I set this up. You coming to open these presents, bro? What, my boy? You wasn't even here for his graduation, but you are.
You have not been here.
Bro, hold on.
Don't.
Bro, you missed everything.
He started.
And then you showed to his birthday party. You got some presents for him, bro?
Okay.
Bro,
All
come on,
he's
King.
been here for him.
Come on,
He's been
King.
here for King.
He don't look like
He's
he been
providing.
This my son now.
Okay.
This is my son now. You ain't been
You
here.
need to leave.
Well, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I
As you
feel I started this whole BS in the group. You know, it's me. I stir the pot. I don't give a fuck.
That's
But-
right.
But so my thing is like this, yo. So the father, I personally feel that the father was wrong in this situation. Excuse me. You show up, you're bringing presents to a birthday party that I don't even necessarily think you were invited to. Granted, you are the father, but my thing is consistency. If you hadn't been showing up, then why show up now? And sometimes what I feel like it is that some men, you know, they don't like the fact of another man, you know, sleeping with their ex-girl or their baby mamas or ex-wives or whatever, let alone another man raising their kids. So I feel like this dude was just coming around trying to bring parents to try to have like a penis swinging contest, so to say, with the real father. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, so you don't show up to the graduation, to everything else, but you show up to the birthday party bringing gifts, try to make yourself appear to be a good father. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing about why I relate and why I understand where the stepfather's coming from is because the stepfather is there. He's the one watching the kid. The kid's probably waking up in the middle of the night looking for someone to come protect him. And who's there? It's the step pops. He probably has questions about girls and whatnot. Who's he gonna run to? He's running to the step pops. You know what I'm saying? Like the step pops is the one making sure that he's getting to school on time. If he's sick, he's the one putting in the work. So you only want to come around when it's convenient for you and to make yourself feel good. And you want to have the nerve to get mad because someone's calling you out on it. So another part of the word, or third word for today, is hard truth. A lot of cats don't like to sit up there and like they don't like the reflection when it's being shown to them. And sometimes it's an ugly motherfucker right there in that mirror, and it's just the hard truth. You know what I mean? But that's how I feel. I feel the step pops was in the right to tell them to get the funk on. You either come correct or you get the funk on. You know, so that's how I feel about it. Now I don't give a fuck. Where are you? How you feel about it, y'all?
Yeah. I mean, you didn't lie. What do we
Quest,
feel
you want to
about-
go first?
Yeah.
Nah, I want to go last.
Okay.
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go second to
So-
last.
Okay, so
Okay.
first off, okay. If you listened when they were talking at the table, he said he had been calling her and she's not answering the phone. So he didn't just pop up. And then how would he even know when the birthday party was? Who told him? So that's the thing too. He'd been calling and trying to reach out to her, whether it's about the child or what, but he's been calling her and she's been ignoring the calls. Second, as I said before, that is his biological father. And people can change. People can realize, yes, I've been effing up. It's time for me to step up. I'm going to go over there and take these gifts to my son and then, let him know that I'm here. And I really hate that conversation happened at a table
Yes.
with a bunch of kids
That
around
part.
there
That part.
that can hear all that.
Yeah.
And it just kept going to where now it's outside and kids are running out in and out outside too, where they can still
Right.
experience it. And her son shouldn't even have been in the middle of it. Not at
That
all.
part.
Because you're making that child almost feel like he has to choose, because apparently he does know who his father is. And you're putting him in the middle to where he might feel he has to choose. Yes, the stepfather has been there. I commend him for that. He's been there. He's been taking care of him and all of that. I get that side of it. But to tell the biological father that this is not your son no more, it's my son. Yeah, take that to court and try to take his son from him. It's not going to happen. That is the biological blood father. You cannot even adopt him without his permission if he's not harming that child physically.
Yep.
So that was my point of it. You just can't come in and be like, oh, that's my son now. What you gonna do? Like it was almost like you trying to push him to fight you or something. Like you just I don't know. It was just all just like testosterone going on. But at the end of the day, that is his child. I don't care what the stepfather says. I commend you, high five, for taking care of the kid and being there. But all that definitely did not have to happen within that circle. And the mom, you keep saying we can do this at another time, but at what point are you taking your son out of the situation? She didn't move that child at all. The stepfather came and moved him, but he still kept him outside. So he's still hearing them go at it. He shouldn't have been nowhere there.
Right.
And so at this moment, this is where I'm standing right now. It might be some other stuff pop up because I went first. And so hearing my other counterparts
All
say
right.
something.
Thank you
I
very
might
much.
jump in.
Leave
I
person.
Yeah.
So as a single mother that raised my son, and I can't stand my son's father at all. However, I would never let another man tell him that this is not your child, because I know he's not going to let no woman say that that's his child, that is her child either. But like I stated, like in the law, the judge is not going to care that stepfather is trying to speak. Matter of fact, I have seen the judge tell a stepfather, sit down, this does not concern you. He don't care how much money you done paid for this child, how much time you spent with this. He's not concerned with that. He's focused on the mother and the father. And that is the only two that are going to speak in the courtroom. And just like she said, he can't even adopt him without the consent of that father. We don't know the whole story. That little boy looks like about 7 years old. So that man ain't been in that little boy's life. We don't know the whole story, but it don't look like he's been in that life all the time, because he would have said, I've been here from the beginning. He never said that once. So he might have felt entitled because he's been there for maybe a year, 6 months, or whatever. He feeling himself. That's the only testosterone I felt. It was coming from the stepfather. You don't never, and he should be, if he's a real man, he's going to at least say, this is this boy's father, and tell the mother, let him have some type of relationship with him. Everybody is not perfect. This man probably felt like, just like Tisha said, somebody told him where that party was. So he probably felt it was more comfortable to show up at that time with people around, because you never know what the mama is doing. She's probably having a police call for no reason. And that now he's there with a lot of people that's witnesses. And so now he can be seen, and he's not trying to start any problems. He's just trying to see his son. That's all. And that door should always be open. We don't know if this man been in jail. He's not going to call a baby mama and say, I'm in jail. You know what I mean? But this man, we don't know if he been in jail. He was on a job working somewhere. If she's made it hard for him all this time to be around, to me, it's not the place of a stepfather to open his mouth. Now, if that boy was 15 or 16 or whatever, or his graduation at 18, I can understand that he feels entitled that I've been here for him, but you still cannot utter the words, this is my son now. Let that child get of age and make his own determination of what he feels about his father without anybody else putting in his head.
Thank you,
That's all I
Queen
got to
D.
say about it.
All right.
Agreed.
You're welcome.
I mean, I feel like I'm now partial to everybody's discussion. I do understand, because I guess for me, you know what I mean, it's something that I had to more so learn about to understand, because I didn't have the situation. So I had to learn about it. And I've got cousins and I've got people around me who are dealing with this particular types of situations where they're like, I had my cousin probably a year ago. She was literally online trying to find out and contemplating between, do I let my daughter's father be in her life as a terribly inconsistent person, or do I completely cut him out of her life so that she doesn't have to have that type of instability that she grew up with herself, because she had the same type of issue, right? With the kind of father who is just terribly inconsistent. It breeds what we call daddy issues, as you know. That's what it breeds from. So it's like, do I put a healthy role model in front of them? And you know what I mean, take the healthy role model, the unhealthy role model out. Because the thing is, like, parents are the ones who directly affect their children. That is literally your children's God. Like, my brothers asked me the other day, at what point did you realize mom and dad were human? Like, I said about 13, I realized, okay, these are people. They're not just like God. Like, everything they do and say is like life. So like, when she was contemplating that, I was just looking at her like, what do you mean? Of course you should let him in. But I didn't understand, like, that people have that type of father who is that level of inconsistent where you feel worthless. You know what I mean? And a lot of young boys and girls have that scenario where they feel completely worthless because from their point of view, the person that they would do anything for, they're begging you to just come to one birthday party. They're writing letters to hopefully you come to this graduation. They're trying to prove that they're good. They're trying to do bad stuff to get your attention. They're acting out at school. Hopefully, you know what I mean? You'll have to come in. Kids are doing these things to get their parents' attention. So when you have that kind of inconsistent father or mother, it really does affect the child. So I can understand if, let's say, this little boy was going through a hiatus of bad behavior, this and that, crying at night, writing letters to try and send to his father, and the mom's watching that. She's crying about it because she's trying to figure out, how can I stabilize my child's mental health? And then another man who comes in and he's able to, like, you know, help that child and make that child realize that this might not be my blood, but this guy cares about me. And kind of like, I can kind of cut that hurt and that pain off from this other father. And then for him to walk back in, I can see where the stepfather and the mother could be like, we're not doing that. However, I do agree with Letitia and Dee and the fact that it is what it is. And it's almost like there's a childhood trauma that you can't really erase for your children. It's almost like they kind of got to get older and get that therapy themselves. And it kind of sucks because it's like, you don't want your kids to have childhood trauma, especially not at that age, and to experience stuff like that. But it's almost like who you lay down with is what your kids are stamped with kind of for life.
Right.
And so it's kind of like, do you wait till they're older and let them have to just deal with that childhood trauma, if they even make it there? Because, you know, you see a lot of people end up in jail and stuff because they are trying to act out to get their parents' attention. A lot of times that's the case.
It definitely goes deep. It definitely goes deep. You know what I'm saying? And it can go further and further and further into a rabbit hole, which is what we're gonna talk about in the next segment too, about social media ruining relationships and high expectations and all this other stuff. But thank you for dropping your 3 cents. Mr. Quez.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
It's your turn.
Let's start from the outside in, you know, because I'm a stepfather current and have been for,
let's go, boy,
you know, almost 20 years. You know, I have a older stepdaughter who I don't consider is my daughter. Both of them are. So, but one thing that I have never convinced myself to do, no matter what their fathers have done, whether it be good, bad, or unjust, is feel the need to tell that man that these are my kids now because I'm here every day. I've never felt that type of energy come across me, not once, to put that out into the ether of the universe to say, these are no longer your kids, these are my kids. I've never, and I've always left the door open. Unfortunately, my younger stepdaughter, her father passed on, but we actually had a great relationship when we met in person, and we talked about the fact of mutual parenting and what he expected from me and what I expected from him, because that's what men do. They
Amen.
conversate and they come to a resolution in what's best for that child. Damn the mom, you know, as harsh as it may seem, our job is to raise these children. And if your insight and my insight come together and formulate a plan that is beneficial for the child or on whatever capacity you can be involved, that is better than me coming outside and dropping my nuts in the yard to tell you that you ain't shit. I would never do that. One is belittling. Two, like Letitia said, you're low key asking this man to act up. So
Right.
just from observation of the video, it seems to me that father felt like maybe that was the best place to perform that act, to get in touch with his son. And secondly, if the stepfather acts like that in a public setting, imagine what it's like to try to go to that house.
Facts.
When nobody's around. If you act like that in front of, you know, other people's children, kids, and family and friends, in a setting where no one is there to witness your behavior, I'm pretty sure it's times 10. And I want to give commends to the biological father, because me personally, I'd have knocked him the fuck out. Period.
Saying.
Period.
Saying.
Ain't no way around it. Everybody just gonna be sad today, because ain't no way you're gonna sit there in front of my son and tell me that that's no longer my son and you're the father now. Now I have to, not only do I have to repair the relationship that I may have fucked up. I'm not saying that he's perfect. I'm not saying that the biological father has done everything, dotted his I's and crossed his T's, but at the end of the day, that is still that boy's father. So for you to try to get your life together and come around and show some semblance of manhood to be a part of your son's life, and we heard her say, you know, I ain't answered the phone and we can do this later and all that type of stuff. So this is a battle he's been trying to fight, you know, regardless of the theatrics. He's been trying to fight it. You know, you ignoring him, you hiding it, you know what I'm saying? You're doing all this little sneaky stuff with the child. So, you know, regardless of all that, he tried to show up and be the best version of a father he can be. Because let's be honest, a large percentage of us don't have a father role model to model being fatherly with. So, you know, that man could be struggling through his own situations on trying to be a good father, not knowing how to do so because he didn't have one. So that's a whole other factor that goes into that. And then, you know, then you seems like you got a bitter baby mama who wanted to have a gladiator fight because she didn't really facilitate that whole situation to the best of her abilities, in my opinion. You know, it's like,
agreed.
It seems like, ma'am, you needed some attention, so you allowed this situation to happen so that both of these men can show up and every night I got to fight to prove my love. Sir, if you don't sit down and shut the fuck up, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, like I'm like, no laughs, no giggles. I'm not fucking with bro. Like,
I feel where you coming from. I feel where you coming from. I have to interject, man. I feel where you coming from, man.
Okay,
but
interject, please.
But
I'm ready.
Hey, all the smoke, all the smoke. So again, so you said you were the stepfather, or you're a stepfather yourself and a biological father yourself.
I'm both.
Right, and I commend that. So where I'm coming from, and maybe I need to probably take my emotions out of it, but I was the stepson. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a stepfather. And so there's been plenty of nights when I'm over here as a kid. I can tell you right now that, you know, you as a kid, we're smart enough to know eventually, especially if you're an intelligent kid, you're going to start putting 2 and 5 together. And you're going to see that equals 7. The nights that you over here, especially if you're named after the motherfucker, you know, say you're going to go to school, they talking about, oh, so you're named after your father. What's he like? You know, I don't know. Oh, so where you live with your father? Like, no. Where's he at? I don't know. I mean, it becomes one of those things to where it's like when you start really internalizing it and you start really thinking about it, you're like, yo, where the funk is this motherfucker, man?
Mm.
And at the same time, you know, if they've been saying like they've been reaching out for the graduations and this and that, and now you want to show up with presents again, that's what I'm saying. It becomes a thing about ego. Some men are going to do certain things to make themselves feel good about themselves, but if you ain't been showing up on a consistent basis, I think you're doing more damage to the kid if you're coming in just doing it whenever you feel like. And again, I'm of the nature to where, like, hell, as a grown man now, I can see where the stepfather is coming from. This is the man that's putting in the work. This kid's living underneath my roof. If you're not contributing or helping to anything, then what the fuck do you have to say to anything that's going on in this house? You get what I'm saying? As a stepson, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yo, I was that kid before, except for my pops didn't really necessarily show up to no party. I didn't see this cat till I was 16. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, I mean, if you want to actually do right and do better, you're going to do it by your actions. You're not going to just do it by just little spontaneous things and make yourself feel good because you're feeling some type of way about yourself. Again, sometimes it's the hard truth. You got to look at yourself. And if you're fucking up, then just do right. You know, it could have been a simple thing about just apologizing, you know what I'm saying, and trying to just do right by your son. But I don't feel like that was the case. That could be me. I could be wrong, but I don't know. It seemed a little bit odd. So again, if he was showing up, there wouldn't have been no thing of, hey, we tried to contact you. Where were you for the graduation? You want to show up and bring presents because you're bringing presents to show, hey, I'm a better father than him. Or let's just say you went out and bought to do the PS5 and you ain't been showing up, but you're getting them a PS5, whatever, just to pretty much to say, hey, well, I can do this, but what's he getting you? It's a penis swinging contest. It's a thing about just basically just trying to make you feel better.
We don't know that from the observation.
Right.
We don't know that that's what actually happened. I have to take it for face value that this is a father trying to show up and see his son. In the beginning of that conversation was led with, hey,
but where you been at though?
I've been trying to, that is irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Where he's been at is irrelevant to a certain degree. Now,
what graduation? Kindergarten?
He's always
some grade school graduation. You know how they do little promotions or whatever.
Okay, but
really big.
Right. And this one, the presents were for his birthday. And like I said, he said he had been calling. You know, and from the demeanor I get from the father, like he walked in there, he didn't walk in there like cocky to be like he was just coming to disrupt the whole party.
No animus.
And then and then when he was outside, he was like, son, are you gonna come open your gifts? Like at that point, when you take me outside, to me, that's like a green light that you ready for me, like you ready to really get this smoke. And it didn't happen. He was just like, can you want to come open these gifts? You want to do that? Now I do
you
get
disrupt the party to go open some presents again. Like the mother was saying like, hey, this isn't the time to do this right now. It could have been a whole thing where, hey, we could have did this afterwards, whatever. You show up in the middle of where he's sitting at the table, you're talking about, hey, I got you some presents and do it all. Nah, that shit was all about ego. I'm sorry, man.
No, and you know what? And what's also about ego is
what about
well, you know what's also about ego? Wait. Thank you. And you know what was about ego? When she said we can do this at another time, why the stepfather still running his mouth? He should have. If you can only argue when somebody else is arguing. So if he had just shut up, it would have been done. That person would have been arguing with himself. It would have been so much easier. It would have been so much easier if I got these gifts to my son. You know, okay, you know what? Go ahead and put the gifts here. Or let him open them right there and be like, okay, you can't stay for the rest of the party. Let's arrange another time for you to come by and see your son because we got kids here. There was no.
Do we need to watch the clip again?
I know because the clip is condensed, and if you watch the full clip, there are some very important factors in there, like especially towards the end where he's talking about, I just slept with you last week, and you'll be calling me tonight to tell me how much he's not doing.
Play it again.
It's not on there.
No, it's not on that.
It's not on there.
It's
on a different
clip is like 6-7 minutes. We don't have time.
Yes, it's a long clip.
But these are key factors to the reason why I said she needs the attention. It's not about that child at this moment. She wanted to see a cockfight, and that's what she got. And to be honest,
baby mamas will get you caught up.
She's lucky she didn't get the fight that she wanted because, for one, Buddy looks soft. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he looks
Exactly.
So now,
your
Real soft.
bravado.
so now he looks soft. You know what I'm saying?
But
He's
what
taking care of
He
another man's
does.
kids.
Listen,
Like a pop.
and it's not physical stature that I'm talking about. I'm not
am.
talking about he looks soft from a physical stature point.
You
I'm
do.
saying he looks soft from an emotional intelligence part. You know what I'm saying? You got into some feminine energy to argue with this man.
Yep.
Like this was your baby daddy. But
to me, that's frustrating, and then it's not conducive to the situation.
It's not
He
what I
been
will
around
say,
that
though-
long.
Hold on.
It's not conducive to the situation.
Hold on.
This
it's not frustrating because at the end of the day, that man and that woman laid down to have a baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm stepping in because one, I love that woman, or I have some type of feelings towards her, and I've learned to, associate myself with these kids and build a relationship with them. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to the major decision-making factors of that child, I can only participate from an outside point of view to a certain extent. You know what I mean? There may be some day-to-day operation things that I can, hey, you need to take out the trash. Hey, you need to listen to your mama. You know what I mean? But you need a kidney, bro, don't look at me. I'm not a man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now you gotta go find your daddy.
But
we need to call your
think
daddy. But you know what I'm
feel
saying?
like-
Go ahead, Adoration.
I'm sorry. I feel like in this situation, though, we have to be a little more understanding because what it sounds like, I didn't hear the whole video now. I just heard what was on screen, guys. All right. But what it sounds like is that would be ideal. Like in your situation, for example, you sat down with these dads, y'all talked about your expectations. It doesn't sound like this dad that they're talking about is that type of dad.
What it doesn't sound like is,
you know what,
there are
Adoration,
options.
you're right about that. My
It
thing
sounds-
is,
It sounds like that stepdad is
No.
not that type of dad.
Correct.
Because he
Right.
caused all the ruckus. He felt
Right.
the need to put his nuts on
Hey,
the
he
table.
worked that to do.
But we
All right,
gotta
so, bro,
understand
so
why.
here's
What
the
do you
thing.
do?
Here's the thing, right? So when you're looking at it in Quest, you're step pops, and I get where you're coming from. But as the kid, I'm looking at the
I've been a stepson too.
Right.
I'm a fatherless child.
Right. So again, my thing is like this: when you put it in hindsight, especially Quest, put yourself in this soft ass nigga's shoes, as you just said. You know what I'm saying? He's over here doing the grunt work. The mom's over here doing the grunt work. This nigga's out here living his best life. He probably popping bottles, being with this one, being with that one. Hey, I'm saying hypothetically. You know, man, at the end of the day, what we do know is that this nigga's out there living his best life and he ain't there. You know what I'm saying? If it's a thing of him actually showing up, then he would actually be there. He's actually living his best life doing Lord knows what. And I'm just saying, hypothetically, he could be sleeping with this one. Who knows how many other kids he got somewhere else, whatever. And Lord forbid, he's playing stepdaddy to somebody else. I'm just saying, we don't know the situation.
You really added too much to that story.
It's true, but
where does
I
it?
think
No,
that
hold on.
That's not true.
I'm adding. Does it not happen?
Adoration, I'm gonna have to ask you to take
after you.
Because we finna get into some real life analytics here. Because where in that situation is that your problem if you love that woman? What he's doing with his life has nothing to do with what you do.
So
the problem
comes in when it's convenient.
I let you get your dissertation
Okay, yes,
out,
sir. Yes,
even
sir.
though it made no sense. I let you get it out. You know what I'm saying?
He said, you know, it made no sense.
I let you have your moment on the spot. Bro, we not.
I told you.
Bro,
what
that man does is none of my concern. I got stepchildren. What their fathers do, who they sleeping with, what jewelry and clothes they buying, none of that has anything to do with me and what I do. If you're looking at it from the perspective of I'm over here taking care of this man, kid, and his baby mama, and this nigga living his best life, you're already in a bad place. Because why are you focused on that when you should be focused on making your house a home with the pieces that you have, which is that woman and those children? And if that man does show up, as long as he doesn't come with animosity and causing dissension in the house, then there's no problem. Yes, you can see your son. It may have to be supervised. It may have to be on a
flip
time
side
frame.
to that, I
but
hear
you
what you're
can
saying, man.
always see your child, because I'll never stand in the way of you
I
seeing
hear
your
and
child.
understand what you're saying, but the flip side of that is that if this man is actually watching this kid and he's feeling some type of way, we don't. So I'm just
You're
saying we don't
feeling some
know.
type of
Hold
way.
on, we don't know if
Right.
this kid's over here crying about where's my daddy or how come he
Exactly.
ain't show up or
Exactly.
whatever. And so
all of that could
Exactly.
be true.
well, no, I'm saying so again. So this man could be watching that, and who's to say that he's empathetic to this kid? He's feeling the pain of this kid. He has to hear that. So again, if you're sitting up there letting it slide, here comes the boiling point. Here comes the blow up. Now, where I do agree with all you guys, where I do agree with all you guys,
there should never be a blow up, sir. That's what
where I do agree with all you guys.
Emotional intelligence of a man.
Where I do agree with all you guys is that conversation, that argument shouldn't have been had in front of none of those kids, none of the party, whatever. The dude, Step Pop, should have just, bit his tongue, however it was he felt, let that party ride out. You just ruined this whole birthday party because of this whole X, Y, and Z, whatever. I feel that. But at the same time, I do think, and I'm just saying, I don't know. So I'm just going to say hypothetically, if the Pops is out there living his best life, doing that, whatever, and he's just showing up just to bring gifts, then he's a bitch. I'm sorry. I don't got no love for no deadbeats. Fuck that shit.
Why would you call that man out his name?
Because again, because he ain't handling his responsibility.
Listen,
so Quest, what is the definition of a man, Quest?
We don't know.
We don't know that.
That's what I said. I said if. I don't know.
Okay,
I said
let's say
if.
You're very strong with your if.
If that doesn't happen, I'll
let's
give
say
you that.
if he is doing it. Let's say if he is. Let me give you a scenario right now, real life right now, okay? My son has not called my grandson in over 5 months because of what happened on Cinco de Mayo. That's May, June, July, August, September. Yeah. So my grandson always says, "My daddy in traffic, Nana," and so he thinks his daddy in traffic. But the thing is because every time he goes, there's always she got to have the police involved. And when you got a good job and you don't want that job to get interference because of her stupidity, he ain't going. And then the guns was drawn on him for no reason. So the thing is that he ain't going nowhere even on her street. He ain't even going in her city at all. She won't let me be the mediator. So it's only about that. So sometimes these women, these baby mamas, will get a man, the new man, hemmed up because he think he gonna play macho and probably get knocked the fuck out. Because you cannot sit there and tell no other man this and that when that man is trying to keep his distance. Yeah, the son might be asking for his daddy, but at this time right now, the daddy got to keep his distance and try to figure out, like, give us some time and then figure out a way that he can get to see his son without the police showing up. No man don't want to go to jail because then what good will he do then? Then he don't have no job to take care and pay the child support.
Great
you see what
point,
I'm saying?
D. So since we're talking about ifs, how do we know that if, in the past, that woman created a hostile environment for him to see his children, and the best solution for him was to back away and not be there because she wanted to go run the streets and sleep with whoever and buy whatever. Like, since we talking about if this was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. But
why don't we stay in context of what everybody said? Let's just work with the video. As far as what everybody said,
no,
what was said in the video.
No,
but let's just say according to what was said in the video, he wasn't there for his son most of the time. He's showing up to try and show some love for his son. But that's the thing, though.
You said he missed the graduation.
We don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know anything about a graduation.
They said never here. You weren't even here for the graduation.
But he also said
that boy is 7.
So again, let's just go back
to. He said
he'd
been calling, but she won't answer. So
he said
we did hear that part too. So
he been calling about the birthday party. She didn't answer. He said she didn't answer because she didn't want you here at the birthday party.
We
don't
know matter.
That's a fact.
It don't.
He did say that. He did say that.
So let's be real.
But who is he?
Adoration. If she didn't want him at the birthday party, is it not also plausible that she didn't want him at the graduation and didn't answer?
No, it's not plausible. She probably didn't want him at the birthday party. But hear me out, though. Hear me out.
Why not?
We can't because we can't get past that part.
But wait,
that part don't make sense.
She probably didn't want him at the birthday party because he's inconsistent. They probably
But
said,
he-
But why
"Done
would you
that."
want him at the graduation if he's not consistent? Like if he's constantly being inconsistent,
Right.
I
Right.
wouldn't want him around
Right, Jay.
Because
any
there,
type of
exactly
event
though,
that's going on with
exactly.
the child. So
Because
why
there
would
is
he
a
be able to
last
go to the
straw.
graduation,
Right.
but he can't go to the birthday
But that's
party?
the point, Letitia.
That's
There
what we're
is, like
trying
you
to.
said, if
Should-
he was inconsistent, you wouldn't want him around. So I think that there was a last straw that they got to where it was like, forget it. And now they're probably like, oh, now he's calling.
Right,
Now
and
the
then you
birthday
show
party
up with
comes back. Now
gifts.
he
You
wants to
show up with
call
gifts trying to play
and
like
act
Black
like,
Santa
oh, I'm
Claus and
consistent.
shit. You know what I'm
The
saying?
moment
Like,
they're done
I
with
don't
him,
think
oh,
he
well,
was
now
trying to be Black Santa Claus, though.
You guys
I
are
think what's
emotional.
going on
That was the
here.
moment.
Wait, what I think is going on here, and this is from the psychology point of view. Whatever, and I'm not. I'm trying to
thank you,
say this
Jessica.
politically correct because I'm not trying to be mean, but whatever you've gone through or seen or whatever, I think
Yeah.
it's playing a huge role with this
Yes.
video
100%.
because this
100%.
video is not showing any of the extra stuff that has
Yeah.
been
You're
said. It's
speaking up,
not.
sir.
Yeah.
And the real father didn't show any of that extraness that's been brought up. There's been added scenarios to this one little piece of clip that is just making it extra emotional, extra everything. And
Well, let's go back.
that's what I think.
And I think the man
I think we
held his emotional stature very well. I think
Right.
I
the
think so,
Because he would have
biological
been
father
checked
held
him.
his emotional
Yep.
stature very well for us
But-
to put all these
Right, but
scenarios
assuming-
on top of him to
but
say
it's-
that
mhm.
he's this horrible person. I think out of the video, what the video shows is he might have been the most stable person in that
Exactly.
event.
But no,
he,
or maybe
he was telling them, hey, come holler at me over here. We don't
It
know
looked
what
like
that
the
could
situation
entail.
Because hey, no, let's
If you
be
call
real.
me outside
Sir,
to holler, it's not a discussion.
if you stand there and tell me that my son is not my son, we're gonna have a conversation. No matter
Word.
whether we
Quez,
have it
that's
right
assuming
here
that you're actually
or
a
we
good
have it
father.
outside. Now that doesn't necessarily mean
Has
I'm gonna
nothing to do
beat
with
your
that.
well, for me it does. For me, it means I'm gonna whoop your ass. But
Exactly.
it doesn't necessarily mean
I don't
that,
blame you.
sir. But what the problem was, if you felt like that as a stepfather, you should have took the intelligent role and said, hey, bro, look, let me holler at you real quick. This is a birthday party. Let me pull you to the side. Look,
Right.
I agree with you on that.
no,
I agree.
Look,
I agree.
look, my man, like,
Right.
if you're gonna be popping up like this, I'm gonna need you to be a little more consistent for your son's sake. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about what his mama got to say. I need you to be more consistent for your son's sake, because these are the issues that we're having with
Right.
him on
Right.
a day-to-day basis. And he says that you are the
I
cause
agree.
of some of these things.
Right.
Now, now me jumping out like, nigga, ain't nobody told you to be. How did he find out we was here? How did he know
Right.
about the birthday party?
But we have
Nigga,
to
you
remember,
ain't
though,
the
this
daddy
was-
no more.
this
This
was-
my he's
This
my
was shot
son.
in the heat of the
She's my-
moment, guys.
She's my baby. All that extra energy to get you knocked the hell out for no apparent reason
Right.
is unnecessary.
Right.
It's highly
So-
unnecessary, and he initiated that. The father didn't initiate. I think
But
we're
we don't
missing
know
the
that.
whole point is that the
We
biological
watched it.
father
This
did not
video was shot
initiate.
in the heat of the moment. We know that he didn't just walk in, they just start yelling at him. We know that didn't happen. Right?
He never
Yes,
yelled.
they
already-
did.
He was already in the house. He was
He
already
never
at the table.
yelled.
We know that this video was shot in the heat of the moment. It was 2 clips and 2 different heats of the moment. We
No,
know that.
play-
It was
play
at the top
clip
of the
again,
it was at the
please.
top of the situation.
Are you watching what we watching?
Please
Let-
play the clip again, because
Let's
there was no heat of the
let's watch it
moment.
again.
Okay,
Let's break down the video. Let's watch it again.
Alright.
You weren't taking your phone up. I was trying to say happy birthday.
Yeah. Because you shouldn't be here. That's why.
Well, we just having a birthday party with the family.
That's why she wasn't answering the
I
phone.
understand all that, but I was trying to.
That's why she wasn't answering the phone. Because you shouldn't be
Family,
here.
right? Family. This was.
So you shouldn't be here.
Family.
He
Can we?
set this up kind of so.
Right.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
Right. Because you ain't been here.
But
Because you ain't came. Come on.
Yo, what are you doing?
we're not about to do this.
You have not been here. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. We're not even doing this. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
Been here.
Over here first, though.
What? No.
You ain't been here.
Oh my
You
God.
just stepping, bro. Like,
Oh my
this
God.
is not even. I set this up.
You coming to open these presents, bro? What, my boy?
You wasn't even here for his graduation, but you are.
Hey.
For the
You have not
graduation,
been here.
bro. Hold on.
Don't.
Bro, you missed everything.
He started.
And then you
All
showed to his
the
birthday
birthdays
party.
that you
Talking about
did.
you got some presents for him, bro.
Okay.
Bro,
All the
come on,
he's
man.
been here for him.
Come on,
He's been
man.
here for King.
He don't look like
He's
he been.
providing.
This my son now.
Okay.
This is my son now. You ain't been
You
here.
need to leave.
I wish I could play that whole 10-minute,
but
20-minute
I'll watch
video.
the 10-minute
Key
clip. I'll watch
piece
the
of
10-minute clip.
information is you can hear in that clip in the beginning, the biological father said, "Bro, we're not finna do this in front of these kids."
He sure,
said,
yep.
He said
I agree
it.
with that.
Okay.
But my thing is this.
Damn, Step Pops
If
got
this
me on
is
that.
their
What is
house-
your thing, Adoration?
If this is these people's
Yeah.
house, right? This
What
is
is
mom's
it?
house. This is stepdaddy's house, right? I'm a grown person. I walk up in your house because I want to see my child. Let's say I'm a mom, right? I walk up in your house. I want to see my child at their birthday party, at your birthday party that you threw for them. If I really didn't want to do this in front of these kids, you know what I would do as a grown woman? I would get in my car, drive away. I would set something up where I could celebrate my child separately.
You
because
obviously
I'm not
don't
going to walk
have
up in
kids.
nobody's house and start a
She
problem,
don't.
right? But no,
You
he don't
you
live
don't
that
you
table.
don't have any children,
Right.
and I'm gonna tell you
I
why.
don't.
I'm gonna tell you why that doesn't make sense, because I'm speaking from a father's perspective, right?
Right. I don't have any kids.
Now, a maternal instinct is something way more dangerous and deadly than what a father instinctively thinks about his children.
Right.
A mother doesn't give a damn where them kids at. You could be at the bottom of the Vatican, and that mom is kicking them gates down, kicking people off of horses. Fuck you,
Right.
I'm going to see my child, and I don't care how long they've been in there and what's going on. That's my child, and I'm coming in to get my child.
But
that's
why
a
that
motherly
birthday party at
instinct.
that time? If I wasn't there any other time.
Timing, it has nothing. We keep talking about time. Time is of the essence. But time is something you can't get back either. Time is also something you can't retrieve once you missed it. So that was the time. That was
that's the thing, Quiz.
This is I know my son's here.
Okay,
listen, that's the thing. I raised a lot of my siblings.
I'm here.
So
all right,
I'm
hey
not a parent.
D, go ahead, D.
But
D.
Let me talk to you, Adoration, and out of due respect. Well, the thing is that when it doesn't have anything to do. You got to remember, someone told him where that party was, probably on that mother's side of the family.
True.
That's probably why the camera broke out, and they knew that this man had a right to see his child. You got to realize that, because all the family that's there would have been told this man to leave. The only one telling him to leave is that mother and the stepdad. It don't even look like they married. Okay, so they playing the role. Okay, so there's nothing that links him to this boy as a father, because you are not, just because you've been around for a little bit, like he said, that he just slept with him. He said, I got both your babies, her and him. Okay, but you didn't have her last week or whenever he said he did. So she's playing the role of going back and forth and dipping and dabbing. So that already shows she's immature. The timing does not have nothing to do with it. I don't care if you in church, okay? If my child is in there and I've been calling you, and I can't put my eyes on my child to see my child, I don't give a damn if it's a pastor, if it's a mayor. I don't care who it is. You can have a shotgun. I'm not giving a damn. Shoot me, baby, because I'm coming to see my child. That's just how it is. And the same thing with the father. He didn't come, his hands are in his pocket. He shows no threat to nothing. So why can't he be at the party? He's not acting up. He's stepping outside to try to keep it calm. The stepfather is the one that has to try to have the macho thing going on.
Wasn't he invited? That plays the bigger question. So why wasn't he invited?
Somebody at that house invited him.
Oh, so again, so if he wasn't invited by the mother or the stepfather,
it doesn't matter.
Sir.
It sounded like he knew of it, but he wasn't invited, guys.
Somebody invited
it's
him.
not. No. Listen, because we've seen the video.
Right.
Towards the end of that video, did Step Pops not say, "How did he even know we was here?"
Exactly.
How did he even know we was here?
So that ain't even their house.
That's not y'all regular residents,
right?
Because that wouldn't be no mystery,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Secondly, it's his son's birthday, so the family's not going, "Hey, we over here." She did that, which further drives my point home. Yeah, you have to watch Adoration.
You have to.
I didn't watch the whole video though.
Silence.
Yeah, you need to watch that whole 10-minute
plus
video.
watch the whole video.
Yeah,
because I can't speak on it.
A place of knowing and not a place of figuring. That's all I'm gonna say. You know
Especially when you've been in it.
Let's not speculate.
Right.
Because when you watch the entire video, you'll see that there's a whole lot of plays that are being made within this one situation that add up to this culmination of the blow up. It's
so
not.
Let me ask you, Wes.
It's not just Pops.
So Quez D, Tisha, you have your father, right?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Tisha
T-
does.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have both parents. Yeah.
you've been a step kid too, right, D?
Yep.
Quez, you've been a step kid?
Several times. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say 3 times for me, but I ain't gonna do it.
Look. I'm sorry, Mom. I was just joking.
Yeah, don't get a whooping on here. Because we can't save you.
Yeah, to be fair, I've never been.
10 times over. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Adoration. I know your situation, Tisha. So I'm speaking to the step kids. All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the ill thing about it is that you guys are parents. Like, unfortunately, I'm a parent too, but my son wasn't here. But he's deceased. But at the end of the day, I know that I would do anything in my power to be in my son's life. That's why I look at these cats who take their kids for granted. So my question to you step children, my fellow step children, do you not empathize with the kid? Do you not see that maybe you've thought about, have you ever not thought about that question? Damn, where is my father? Why isn't my father showing up to these life events? Why isn't he at this graduation? What is he doing? Does he actually care about me? Does he love me? Does he even want me? Did these questions ever sit there and fester into your head? And so I know that at one point, and I don't want to get too personal, because again, I've been that kid. I've had these talks with my father. I forgave him. It's over with. But I can remember at one point, I didn't know what this cat even looked like. I couldn't remember. So the only thing I can remember is when we went to Vegas, was that he took me. The last spot he took me to was Circus. So I'm over here looking around for this cat, looking around. I see this guy who maybe resembles him. I walk up and I ask him, like, "Hey, are you my father? Or are you Edward?" And he said no. And I'm like, dang. And the look on my face, I guess, said it all. My step pops was right there when I did this. It wasn't
that's
no like your father ain't
though,
dish,
bro. Like that's really traumatizing. Like,
no, I'm saying this to say is that I'm saying this to say is that I'm speaking from my step. I wish he was here, but I'm speaking from the fact that those broken pieces that that your step pops has to do to pick up. You know what I'm saying? He picks up those broken pieces. He's there while the main one is not. So I can only imagine what this stepfather is feeling, knowing that, okay, hey, you haven't been consistent. You haven't been here. That's where I'm speaking of. I heard that he wasn't there for the graduation. You ain't been showing up. And if you ain't been showing up consistently, then my thing is like, yo, be consistent or just step, because you're doing more damage if you're coming in and out the life than if you're not being consistent. That's all I'm coming from.
Can I give you a piece to your puzzle? Because I listen very well.
Yes, sir.
So you was in Circus, right?
Yes.
You were with your stepfather, correct?
Yes.
Your stepfather allowed you to walk up to a man that you thought was your father.
Yes. He was with me. So again, listen. We're gonna get to something here.
Yeah,
we're gonna get to something here, because your stepfather knew at that time your daddy wasn't shit, right? Am I correct in my assumption?
Essentially, maybe. I don't know. You
essentially, because you seeing where I'm going with this plot.
Right.
I know, but you okay. I got you, brother. And I'm only doing this because I love you.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, let's say if. Say if.
It's because I'm 20% white.
Oh my God. Damn Sag energy.
I love all the Caucasian in your ancestry, sir. You understand? Just because it's you. If it was anybody else, I wouldn't care. But
because he's trying to throw you off. Just keep going.
Yeah.
But so, listen, your stepfather, knowing that your real daddy wasn't shit, in the middle of Circus
at that moment,
still allowed you to go and approach that man so that you may have an opportunity to address those demons while he stood by and watched. He didn't say, fuck that. Don't go talk to that nigga. That nigga ain't shit. I'm your daddy now. He didn't do any of that in the middle of Circus. He allowed you to go find for yourself, because a real man will allow his son to venture off far enough to learn those lessons himself. And here you are, saying that this stepfather that was in this scenario did everything right, and I beg to differ because that nigga ain't shit. Because he didn't allow that child, to come to a formulation of thoughts on his father by himself, which is gonna happen eventually. If that father is inconsistent, then he has to face those demons when that child comes of age. If that father is inconsistent but has documentation that, son, I've been trying to get to you, and these are the things that stood in the way, your stepfather, your mother, the family, whatever the case may be, I'm okay with whatever the scenario plays out as long as I can answer to my demons. I can stand 10 toes down and tell my sons why I wasn't there every day and what happened to lead to that point and how we had to maneuver and manipulate the scenario so that I could be the best father I could be from the situation I was in. I'm ready to face that at any time. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to see the fact that your stepfather, as big as the pedestal that you put him on, and you supposed to, because he stood in there and did something that most men won't do. It's hard, especially to a young man. You know what I'm saying? A rebellious young black man with no father. That is a hard place to be at. But
it's a real hard place to be.
You the opportunity to have a relationship with your father, if instead that would have been him. He didn't intervene. He didn't jump up there. No, let me see if it's him. And let me tell him that, nigga, this is my son, but I'm going to let you talk. He didn't do none of that.
Plain advocate.
You know, but hey, you can't advocate to your own life, sir. This is you.
Right.
We're talking about you.
I'm going back to the video because again, I gotta put disclaimers out there. So again, if my father's watching, and I apologize. It's my truth. You know, again, at the end of the day, he was a different person back then. He's a different person now. You know, so again, but it's growth. It's growth. But I'm only putting this out there because again, there's other people who can sit up there and they can relate. They probably understand, and this is just my truth. So if it can help somebody get over and put in perspective, hey, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, so what I'm saying is, even with that being said, with the going back to the video, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think maybe it would have been a thing where it would have been okay if the father would allow the stepfather would allow the father to come around if he had been consistent. Again, I just think it's the thing that inconsistency is just going to be the thing of frustration because again, so just like how Quez hit it, and he disappeared. But just how Quez had hit it so vividly was that again, you're a stepfather watching this kid go through it. You don't know the tears that this kid is crying. You don't know the questions that he's asking. Because at the end of the day, that father is not there. He's out living his best life while this man over here has to pick up the pieces. And he's not necessarily saying this out of frustration because, damn, I have to do it. But he's looking at this kid and he's empathizing with this kid. And I know that that's the thing that my step pops with me. Even to this day, him and my mom are not married. But, you know, let someone tell him that I'm not his son, he will try to fight them. Because this man has been there. He helped raise me, you know, saying he stayed consistent throughout. He's always been that constant presence. I know if something happened to me right now that this man will be here. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, again, you know, this is another man stepping in to take care of another man's responsibility. So I just think the boiling point happened. And again, I don't think that conversation shouldn't have happened in front of those kids at the party because it totally ruined the whole party. And it probably scarred that kid. But you have to understand, I'm empathizing because I understand the frustration where this man might be coming from because again, he has to pick up the pieces at the end of the day.
And I would say that
one thing. Go ahead, Adoration. Go ahead.
No, I would just say that even with myself, because to be honest, like what's the name pointed out, I am not a step kid, right? I had both my parents, and so the only experience or even knowledge of experience, the reason why I can kind of sympathize with what Third is saying is because my parents were both step kids. My mom didn't know her dad at all, and my dad did know his dad, but there's something that he said to us. He said, you don't know in some people's scenario. He said, in some people's scenario, he said, in some scenarios, some dads and moms are better left unknown because he did know his dad. And knowing that dad that he had caused more, this is what my dad was saying. So, you know, I can't, but it caused so much more pain for him, so much more trauma for him, so much more therapy needed in the future than if he just did not know that dad. That's his point of view, though. I'm not saying that it's true or not, but to have a dad that knows you, that you knows you, and that is deliberately figuring out how not to take care of you. To have a dad that you know he knows where you're at. Not one of those, I'm searching for my dad, maybe he never knew me, and deliberately know that he had actually 3 kids and his youngest son was living homeless in the park across the street from his house. To have that type of father who didn't want you born, and you know him and he knows you, their mother left the door wide open, sent the kids to his house, maybe as every time she could, I think it was twice in their life. Every time that he would even open up to see them, she would make sure they had that. But like he said, it was actually more damaging for him to know that this is somebody whose flesh and blood I am. He knows I exist. He knows this and that. And he not even doesn't have anything to do with me. He hates me. So we have to also sympathize on the other side. Like I said, I'm not, when I see this whole mess, my first thing was, why in front of the kids? Because my thing is, my ultimate goal is when I look at these situations is how to protect the children. And sometimes as parents, we are trying to be the bigger people. We are trying to, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not a parent, like I said, but you are trying to be the bigger people. You are trying to make sure that the kids, but also, like Third said, we have to also consider, well, what is that child going through? Okay, because while my dad's mother was really trying to make sure that they had the opportunity to have a father, he favored the old, because he only wanted 1 kid. So he favored the older sister over him. Right. She got graduation cards. My dad didn't get graduation cards. He got nothing.
Thank you.
Absolutely nothing.
Thank you. Listen, man.
The youngest son had it so bad. Like I said, he was living, they found out later they had a younger brother. He was living across the street in the playground, homeless, while this guy was living up in his mansion. Military dude, too. Rich. I visited him once in my life because my dad was still trying to have a relationship. And that was traumatizing for me.
We definitely hear you. We definitely hear you. Go ahead, Quest.
Yeah,
listen, I'm my father's only child. Period, point blank. Never had another. My father lived in Oceanside my entire life. And I've seen him 3 times till this date. So I definitely understand the perspective of somebody not making the effort. But what I did do was give my father opportunities to correct himself. Now, if you choose not to do that, because now I'm a father, right? Now I have children. So it's important for me to face my traumas with that individual and get to the bottom of it. And even if it comes out to be that you're just a shitty individual, okay, I know that now. I don't blame you, you know, for you being that type of person, because I don't know what you came from.
Exactly.
I don't know what you survived. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never going to pass my judgment in that perspective. Yes, it's messed up that I'm your only child and I'm your son. And you would think that, you know, you would want me to be everything that you ever wanted to be. Yes, I understand. Right. But one thing that my mother never did, and she's on here, if she's still on here.
That part. Come on with it.
She never down talked that man.
Come with it.
In front of me. She never did that to me. Now she might have been silent, which might have been just as much an admission of his own guilt, the same thing, but she never formulated an opinion for me in regards to him. She let me figure that out when he wanted to come around. Or it was crazy that people that I would run the streets with was like, man, I just seen your pops. He was in jail. I seen your pops in jail. You know what I'm saying? He should be getting out in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I just seen your pops downtown by the beach. Ooh. Like, those are real situations that I had to face living in the same city with this individual that I felt took the 007 approach in part of espionage of avoiding me. Because Oceanside is not big. Yeah,
not big at all. Not big at all.
Yeah, so
so with that being said, you know what I'm saying? So has your father tried to reach out to you now? Do you believe that your father has changed?
No. I don't. And but the difference is now I'm okay with it because I met him as an adult and I seen it in him. And I said, you're not the person that I wanted you to be when I met you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I would have much rather you had a sob story for me to cry with you in.
Right.
Than the shit you me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. That's
I
deep.
wanted
Yeah.
to feel bad for you. I wanted to give you a way out, but there is none. And I'm okay with that. Because you, at the end of the day, me being the individual I am, you gave me everything I needed to be so much better than you.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me an example.
I feel that's a whole bar.
You gave me the example. You gave me the blueprint of what not to be.
And there you go.
Right.
Strive every day because I do have children that I don't live with, but you know, surprise to some of the people on here. But I make it an effort to stay in constant communication with them on the other side of the United States, and I get them during the summers, and I spend time with them, and I pour into them, and I give them everything I have, irregardless of me and their mother not being together. And I talk to her about them. We still communicate. Sometimes it may not be the best communication, but we still communicate to the best of our abilities. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, when it comes to them kids, we don't play no goddamn games about nobody and anyone that tries to do something in that regard. You don't have a say.
The lessons learned from the father, man, even in absence. So Queen D, because again, I'm not sure if you want to share. I just want to ask. So again, with your father, how did you go about it?
My stepfather, my sister's father, raised me, and I've held his last name, everything. My real biological father came in my life at 9 or 10, and I didn't like him. I hated it, and I didn't want him there because I knew who my daddy was. I feel he was my daddy, and so now to this day, like I would always be around his family. He would never even come around his own family. So he had some type of issues, you know what I'm saying? And it's a big family. But like now, recently, like this man has seen my son maybe twice, and my son is 34. So now it's like now I'm in a situation where right now, like the last time when y'all was on podcast when I wasn't on, a while back, I had to go pick him up in Bakersfield from here, which is a 3-hour drive, take him all the way to Vegas, get him out of rehab hospital because his girlfriend left him on the floor. So I feel like since I'm his only child, but why do I have to do it? He didn't raise me. You know what I'm saying? Why do I have to feel like I got to take care of him now? I don't feel like that's my place. But I did it for my aunt. And then while we're driving, he wants to sit and tell me about how I need to handle my relationship with my dude. That ain't your place. And the first thing out of his mouth is, I'm your father. You need to listen. Well, damn, I can't tell. But I'm trying to still respect you and not check you. You see what I'm saying? So now here it is. I got his card to pull his money off. I'm beneficial on all his stuff now. I don't want that position. And and it's hard because I don't want to feel like I'm being mean. But I just feel like I got my own life. I haven't had to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like I should have to take care of him. Now I have to go get him again and take him and put him in a LTC, a long-term care, because I'm not putting up with him. He don't want to listen. He want to hang up in my face. He want to disrespect me, disrespect my aunt. You know, he might be having dementia issues. I don't know. I just feel, to me, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? When I told him I can't keep coming into the hospital or keep being around you because I have to watch, I can't catch nothing. I can't catch a cold. I can't do nothing with my health. So his thing was, why? I said I had my transplant. He's, you know, this man gonna tell me, oh dang, well you jacked up, ain't you? You so tore up, you should just give up. The
Wow.
Do you see what I'm talking about? So that's why I just had to pray and say, you know, Lord, let him remove him from my ears. So when I go get his nasty ass, because he don't want to change his diapers ever, you know, it's a problem. And I feel like I don't want to deal with that problem. So I just want to get him and get rid of him. But my main thing I want to tell you.
Advice after you're done? I'll let you finish.
Sure.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So my thing is, before I forget, because my memory, you know. So my thing is, though, is what I want to say is that my dad that raised me, my sister's dad, he had me since I was 4 months old. Like they all went to school together. My mom, my dad, my uncles, everybody. And one of my mom's brothers and my dad, the one I call my dad, used to beat up my biological dad. So he didn't want that smoke from them. You know what I'm saying? So he knew to fall back, but he didn't want no kids. And I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I've come to terms. I'm cool because I had that stepfather there. So I don't feel like I need to go on Maury or whatever or Dr. Phil. I feel cool with that. But my thing is, like, when it comes to my son, you know, I was that mother at first bitter, like, oh, he ain't gonna see my son. But when your child is saying to especially a white lady in the store, and it's Christmas time, and she said, oh, what you getting your mom for Christmas? Oh, I don't know yet. Well, what you getting your dad? I don't have a dad. That hit me. So I had to start communicating with the stupid ass. You know, I had to start dealing with him. But at the end of the day, I still have my boundaries and I set them rules. You know what I'm saying? I still let him see his father. My thing is, I want you to take with you, and this is all out of love, to take with you is that you can't insert your issue, your situation, because it's not an issue no more. It's a situation. You can't take that and put it in with other, because you can be with a woman that has children and you actually have been put in that situation, and you might think you're the baddest and he might think he the baddest. It ain't worth it to die over because somebody wants to be checking somebody else. You have to let that child get grown. Just like Adoration said, her father made that determination. He had to make his own. Every kid might have some trauma. That's just the way it is. That's why we got to watch who we have kids with.
Hold on, third. I got a message I want to give D before we move on.
Okay, yeah.
So this is your time, D. You know what I'm saying? To practice empathy. I don't know if you pray or.
I do.
I'm not going. You know, I'm just not making an assumption. But I find it funny that, not even funny. It's just how God works to me in my eyes. That when you ask for patience, He puts you in a long line. He doesn't move out the way. You know what I'm saying? When you ask for understanding and sympathy and empathy, He puts you in the most aggravating situations.
He does, and He has.
So your mission at this time may be to send that man on the way out with some empathy and love from the least expected source, so that he has some peace when he goes. You know what I mean?
I do.
Aggravating.
I really do.
I'm not saying you do or you don't. I'm just saying that from my observation, that's what I feel. And I feel you, and I appreciate it, because I feel like I've been tested since I've had my surgery. I feel like I'm tested because I had to deal with my son's father. I had to deal with him. You know what I mean? And that was the biggest hurdle to try. He showed up at my grandbaby's birthday party, so I had to learn to deal with him. Then on this, now it's a task for this.
I'm sorry. Put a toothpick in there real quick. I'm gonna interrupt. Jason, how's it going with you, man? How's it going?
Can't hear you.
Unmute your mic. But I just wanted
to
acknowledge
how are you?
Good. So I just wanted to acknowledge you real quick. So okay, go back to what you were saying, D.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
It's just a delay.
So my thing is, I just think that, like, now I'm being tested with the biological father now, which is fine. You know, I still make all his stuff and set him up with all his medical. I set up everything. I did all the calling. You know, I'm doing all that. But I don't want to check him. But when you hang it up in my face, because I'm telling you to stop fighting with my aunt and get your nasty butt in the shower, but I'm doing it politely, and you want to hang up. You see what I'm saying? I'm taking all that, but I'm praying about it just to have my calmness. So now we just know where he has to go.
Your patience gonna be amazing after this.
I sure hope so, because I've been really trying. You know what I'm saying? It's hard because when you know that you're being tested, I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a big hurdle. So that's why I'm saying to you, Edward, like the same thing is like when you said I want to smoke. No, really, it's not even necessary to have that smoke. It could be a lot calmer and not even why have the smoke? It's not even necessary, because at the end of the day, that father that ain't doing his job, he got to meet his maker. He got to answer to that. You
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
can't
it
go up
does.
and when
It
the
does.
Lord calls you, you can't say, well, you know what, I was gonna want to smoke, and
So
he ain't
again,
doing right. He gonna say
so
ain't nothing
Nope.
since
about
you
him.
inserted me into this, I'm going to
Yep.
pretty much say that no, I'm not placing myself in this. I even asked you guys those questions because again, I'm speaking from another place. What if? Dang, we lost Jason again. So what if again? So I heard what you said, Quez. I heard what you said, D. And even so, going back into my situation now. So what if they know something about this man that we don't know, which is
Mm-hmm.
what they're trying to protect that kid from.
Right.
And that's all that I'm saying because again, so Quez, you have some issues with your father, and again, you're seeing that the patterns of your father. D, you're seeing the patterns of your father. Where there are certain things that they know about this man that again that they're trying to protect this kid from, and
Well,
that's
what
all that
if
I'm
they
saying.
should have
So
called 911 right away then? You know what
That
I'm
part.
saying?
But it's not
I
a 911
agree.
situation.
So what if? What if?
Then you call
Then
the
they should
police.
have
It's
got
a
to
police
call it.
situation. I agree.
Right.
If
But
it was that deep and things were going on in the background that they know about, why continue to argue with him when he on your premises when you don't want him there? You know,
I
you have
And
and
total
I
the
agree with
control to
that.
call the
entire
police and have them
hold
come.
on.
To me,
The
it's
entire
definitely about
family,
timing.
nobody had nothing to say. It couldn't
Yeah,
have been
right.
that bad of a scenario because
Right.
I don't know how many of y'all been around black families, but
we're all black.
I frequent those events and let somebody show up to the function that's really a
Woo!
problem. It's gonna be
Yes.
more than
You know
just
what?
It's
us
Very
Yes.
gonna
true.
get
talking.
it's gonna get taken care
Very
of.
true.
No
You
cops,
ain't
no
gonna be able
911.
to have a
Right.
conversation because Auntie
Very,
done
very,
came
very,
over,
very true.
Yep.
But
Grandma
it
done
always
Yes.
come
seemed
Yep.
over. You know what I'm
to
saying? Some
adapt to the
uncles that
video.
came out the
Jason,
backyard that was playing
That's gonna
dominoes.
look like Alabama.
Like
He
we got
said,
issues now.
playing
What's up, Day?
dominoes.
What's
hey,
good
what's
with it?
good, man? How you doing?
What's up, brother?
I'm good, baby. What's up with y'all, man? Can y'all hear me?
We can
Mm-hmm.
hear you. You
Yes.
sound like you in an airplane or some shit, but we can
Yeah,
still
you
hear you though.
good?
What's good with you?
It's these bum ass headphones, nigga.
All right,
Okay.
No,
Yeah, we
I'm good
good.
though. I'm good. How y'all?
good,
It's
good,
been a
man.
minute,
Good.
man.
What's your three
Yo,
cent,
can
bro?
I just let me. All right, man. So like, I've been listening to everything that y'all been saying, right? Um, so let me just. All right, how can I break into this? Like, I've been a stepdad unofficially. Definitely been a stepson. Um, whether that was official or not, I'm still trying to figure that out. But
Mm-hmm.
as a stepson, my experience was okay. You know what I'm saying? Like my stepfather, my my father was there. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
my only issues became evident after getting older and finding out that certain things that I heard as a child were ploy. So
Mm.
I was the kid that was used. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? To I'm gonna say some shit. I know if somebody watches this, they're gonna
Go
get mad.
ahead.
At this point, like if they watch it and they get mad, I'm alright with that. So like, I used to be 5 years old. My step pops used to take me to the beach in Puerto Rico. It was we would literally go into my mom's work while my mom was at work. We would go through the hotel lobby and then go out to the beach. We will always throw either a football or a frisbee we will always throw some. And what he
Mm-hmm.
would do is he would have me do little athletic bullshit, but he would have me do this in front of other bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then he would use me because then the women would come up and I remember this shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then the women would come up and be like, "Oh, who is that?" Because I'm the little nigga and he's the lighters guy. So since I look black, there was no way in the world that I could be his son. So I look like a project.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the only. I've had conversations with other people, and
Yes.
I'm not the only one who has had that type of experience. And then I can jump forward in time and find myself in these family gatherings. And in these family gatherings, the conversation would be, and Pops, I'm sorry if you're listening or if you ever get to listen, but this is the fucking truth and this is how I feel. The conversation will go to, that's my son. I taught him how to do football and I took him to all the games and I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that and I did this. And I'm sitting here listening to this and I don't remember none of that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do remember is my mother having some type of health situation in the health scare, and she left me because I couldn't ride the ambulance with them. So they left me in the hospital. My aunt was supposed to go and pick me up at the hospital. No one ever fucking showed up. So me being scared for my mom, I took my mom's purse, opened it up, took her car keys, and drove myself home. When I drove myself home, I get home, and 5 minutes to 10 minutes after I get home, the same father walked in. And rather than him asking me, hey, what happened? We went to the hospital, this, that, and the next, because then I would have been able to say, bullshit, nobody came to the hospital. Mom is still in the hospital because I just called and no one's even bothered to come and pick me up or anything. So I drove myself here. That never took place. So what ended up happening is that was the first time that I ever put my hands on my stepfather because I was protecting myself. And I didn't think that I would ever be in a position where I would feel that I would need protection from this particular individual, being that I was still in high school. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't let him put hands on me. I threw his ass down the stairs and he rolled down the fucking stairs, like 3 fucking flights of stairs. He rolled all the fucking way down. And I guess that his pride was hurt or whatever because he left. But his pride wasn't hurt enough that my mother, an hour and a half after the fact, while still in the hospital, she calls me trying to find out what happened because of what my stepfather told her. So ain't nobody gave a fuck about what the hell was going on. And that's crazy to me. I've also been the stepfather in a relationship where I was a stepfather to 2 little girls. 2 little girls who had piece of shit dads. Piece of shit dads that they will try to come to the fucking spot where we were living at and they would try to fight me. And I don't fight nobody. After I turned 23 and after I had my own kid, I don't fight nobody. I'll cap you before I put hands on you because I want to make sure that the next situation that I'm in, I can see my kid again. Because nowadays people don't fight no more. So since people don't fight no more, I take care of that. And I live in a state where I can stand my ground. And that's one of the other reasons why I moved here was because I know my type of character. And if I'm ever in a situation where I got to protect myself or my family or my significant other or my friend or the homeless nigga that I just bought a burger for, I'm going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I always had those situations where from a stepfather perspective, whether it was me or someone else, the other side was very, very negative. But that negativity was portrayed as positivity around other folks. So when I first saw that video and I saw everybody making all these rounds, I was like, I'm going to shut up because I see everybody talking without knowing exactly what is going on or what had happened because they get a 1-minute clip or they get a 3-minute clip. And then all of a sudden, everybody was like, oh no, we got to show the whole shit. First of all, the person who put the clips out could have just put the whole shit out there to begin with, and then could have saved the nation a whole bunch of different conversations.
They did put it out.
No, but what I'm saying is that, whoever put it out, salute. It should have been put out from the get-go because even in this little thing, we had people where they were kind of going at each other because they were assuming situations.
Well, first off, ain't nobody going at nobody. It's bringing up
No. I don't mean going at anybody like in a negative.
Hold on, cause I get where you're going from. I get where you're coming from. But at the end of the day, nobody's going at nobody. This is a healthy dialogue. This is what this platform is for. So again, this is situations where we're taking stuff that we see in social media influence and we're relating it to our everyday lives. So again, you're getting it from perspectives from a father, from a stepfather, from a stepkid, from a stepdaughter, from a biological daughter, from a woman who has no kids, who might get married and have kids or stepkids of her own, to see these situations. So this is something that people can learn from. This is what this is. This is what this platform is. So whether the clip is cut down or whatever, these are conversations that need to be had, because at the end of the day, real life situations happen outside, whether it's staged, whether it's whatever. Real life shit happens to where people have to learn from and learn how to deal with this shit. So now when people take away from this, is they take away from the perspective, okay, first of all, we got to put our feeling aside. Stepfather, put your feeling aside. Father, put your father aside. Mother, put your father aside. What's in the best interest of this child? Because now this child is watching, and now this child is going to be influenced by everything that's happening around this shit. It's going to impact this kid, whether on a positive note or a negative note. It's going to have an impact on this child, which is why I asked the question to Quez. I asked the question to D. We're hearing from Adoration. We're hearing from Letitia, because now we're getting all these perspectives, but especially from stepkids, we're seeing that the number one focal point in this whole shit should have been the child.
Always. It should always be the kid. And because it should be the child, when having these conversations also, people also got to have context. That's why I mentioned the clips. So if you lack the context, then you can run amok. And what I mean by when I say people going at each other, is having the conversations. But this is not the only forum where people have tried to have these conversations, and all I've seen is disrespect, and everybody is disrespecting everybody for saying what they're saying, and every single point of view that they have, and everybody's disrespecting that because they're in their field. Right. You know what I'm saying? And when we have conversations, if we're going to have a constructive criticism and we're going to be intellectually intelligent about a conversation, then we got to have context. For example, when somebody tells you, hey, you'll read this Bible verse, are you going to read just the Bible verse, or are you going to read the 5 verses before that and the 5 verses after? So you can kind of get an idea of what exactly that actual verse means and the context in which that verse was put forward. Because if you don't get that, then you can make up whatever you want. For God only gave his only begotten son. And what if it was just that? Anybody can make up. But if you read before and if you read after, then you can see what the context of that particular thing. And that's just a line that I'm using as an example.
No, I got you. At the end of the day,
there has to definitely be context in what we're discussing. Because if there is no context, there is no intelligent discussion being had.
There's a very intelligent conversation that's being had, because again, we're putting in perspectives. Again, the one thing that is for certain is that we don't know the full spectrum. No matter if they put out a 1-minute clip or a 20-minute or a 30-minute clip, we still don't know the backstory behind this shit, which is why we're bringing out different scenarios, which is why we're talking.
I got a problem with Dad. I got a problem with Dad coming out of his mouth. He should have been smarter. He shouldn't have come out of his mouth later in the clip saying, you ain't got no problems with anything when I was smashing it. You know what I'm saying? Because that example right there is exactly what happened to me. That shit happened to me in a graduation on top of that. I went to a graduation, and after graduation, I was clapping, and she was married. So now what context do we put on that? If that was a clip that everybody was discussing on the social media, if that situation that I just discussed happened, or the situation where I'm walking into the crib with my girl and I'm walking up the stairs and a door that I make sure that I always have open for security reasons is closed. And the only reason the nigga came out is because he heard the gun cock.
So I'm confused. What the fuck happened?
What happened is not really the thing. Is that we got to have context, because again, clips can be clips. I could have opened up saying that I was the guy walking up the stairs, and another nigga was hiding in my bathroom, but the other nigga hiding in my bathroom
Right.
was the first husband. But I never knew that there was a first or second or third husband.
Right.
Right.
From a step pop's perspective, because now he was trying to say, "Oh, but I'm here for my daughter," and he tried to say that and then he tried to say that your daughter is not your daughter.
Wow.
No, but I
Yeah.
mean, you got
I feel
a valid point
I feel
because
you on that.
now looking at
That's
it
why
from
I smoke weed. This is why I smoke weed, nigga.
No, but you know what? It is a sensitive subject. Anytime you mention kids, step parents, regular parents, Debbie parents, it is a sensitive subject because everybody in my whole family knew like they don't ever touch on my child. Don't talk about that situation. I run that situation. You know, no one can tell me when my son is supposed to see there or this and that or how I'm supposed to go about kissing my son's father's ass. You know, it's just a touchy situation. And when you get in it, and it's no disrespect to the ones that have not raised a child, you know what I'm saying? Because it like Quest said, when you in these black families, tensions rise. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a situation when you go home, the mother has to do a lot more than just raise that child. She has to know what to say and what not to say in front of that child, and it's hard. Mind you, with all the other bills you got, you know, and everything else you're struggling.
You know what I wish?
You know.
You know what I wish with what you saying?
hit the link, Kendra.
Go for it.
If you
Go for it.
come on, you got to hit the link. You know how to get in here, Kendra. Don't play like that. The link is in the comments. You know how to get in here. Come on up.
Hey,
we
but
can't
real
let you in.
quick.
You got to hit the link.
I say what now?
Hey, but real quick, wouldn't it be dope if all of us as a people, because I see other people do it, and when I say people, I mean races. Wouldn't it be dope if we stopped going at each other in a negative way? Wouldn't that start the opportunity to have a better introduction? Like, what's up with a list and why a list? And why certain things in the list are good and not? And why is that even a case? And why, as black people, are we the only ones that are societal engineered to go against each other in every single form or fashion, except for when they copy us? And if we're smart enough to have these conversations, then we are smart enough to treat one another just like that, even if we see the negative come our way, because it'll give us an opportunity to take that person who is coming at us in that program way, for us to let them know, hey bro, you're being engineered to be going up against myself and against yourself and not anybody else. Don't you see a problem with that? And don't you think that if we stood together, that we can be better fathers, better mothers, better kings, better queens, hold a better family stature, pass along that wealth, not only money wealth, but intellectual wealth, to where our kids can make good decisions and be better people. I think we need to be on that tip.
Jay,
because since the 80s we've been forced to be not on.
But Jay, go ahead, Chris. I think this is why it's imperative that we have these conversations, even though it may look like we're comparing things and picking a side. These are real conversations that need to be had to change the narratives that are out there against us. And nobody else can have these conversations from an honest and open perspective than us. Like me and Third are both black men. Me, you, Third, all three of us are black men, and all three of us had three different experiences, with one being stepchildren and me and you being step parents. Like, all of our perspectives are different. But if we don't have these conversations to iron out these perspectives and come down to a common goal, then nobody goes anywhere. The problem with our community is that we don't have the conversations. Everybody goes on about their way.
Thank you.
And say, my way is the truth and the light. You know what I'm saying? And it's not challenged by anybody else's perspective to see whether your facts stand up when it comes down to the challenging forensics of life. You know what I mean?
Fact. But let it be about Will and Jada. They'll tell you all day long about that.
To get your concept work to get this child to be a productive adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, the children that you help raise, are they productive adults now? Are they emotionally intelligent adults? Are they, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the factors that determine whether or not your premise actually made sense. Yeah,
Yep.
but it
So
starts with conversations.
word.
Yes.
So again, I'm
Yes.
not. I have to step away, so I'm not sure. But
Mhm.
I think we strayed away from the topic. We strayed away from the doc. Again, so for those who are coming in, who are just watching, so we create this platform basically to have a safe space to have these conversations, because again, it's all about perspective. So again, we can come in stubborn. I'm hearing noise in the background from somebody. I'm gonna have to mute a mic. So if we're coming into these situations where we're pretty much like, again, we'll have our own viewpoint. We can be stuck in this viewpoint, and we can only see things how we see it, and we see it, and we see it, and we got to be right. We got to be right. We got to be right. The whole purpose of this damn platform is to create perspective for everybody to take a look at it and to get some type of understanding and to educate themselves just a little bit more better, to see that, hey, my way of thinking may not be the only way of thinking. Maybe I could look at it from another person's perspective, which is why it's called Drop Your 3 Cents, your thoughts, views, and opinions. So this is what this whole platform is about. And like Quez said, this is the reason why we had these conversations, because nobody's having these conversations. All we have is clips, and we have stuff that's being influenced on the social media that's taken away from productiveness and actually stunting our growth. Because again, we got people who are being influenced by bullshit. So now we're having real life conversations that we're bringing in here. This is the whole purpose of this damn platform. So,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Agreed.
We get a
And
bunch of
on
sound
top of that,
all
this
day.
is why I like this platform, because when we talked about it in the group, we was all over your ass in the group.
And I didn't give
But
up.
to hear your situation, but to hear your look, okay. But I'm trying to give you a little bit of kudos here
All
and
right.
some flowers.
I
and
love you.
interrupt.
I love you. Go ahead.
Put them flowers away.
But after hearing your story,
Right.
that I had no idea how deep it went, I can see where your perspective comes from. It gave me better understanding. Now, some things, like I said, I don't have kids. You know, I have both my parents. But my whole focus, because I care about children so much, like if it was possible, I would have a whole flock of them. But I care about kids so much that my comments were specifically on how that child would feel if he's not able to even access his father, who wants to access him right now. But that's my point of view. But to hear the other perspectives from people who have stepfathers, it gave me a chance to be like, okay, I can see your point. And that's the purpose of this platform. Because otherwise I would walk in with a straight view of how I feel, and I don't like I said, I don't have a stepfather, so I wouldn't understand. But to hear it from your sides, from DQuez and you, it gave me a different perspective on it. So this is why I've been with this platform since I noticed you had it. And I'm not going anywhere because you allowed a safe space to talk about things like this. So that's all I want.
I appreciate you.
No,
Thank
and
you
that's
very much.
respectful. I
And
appreciate
that's
that.
no
Because you
propaganda,
know
no
when
bias.
you knew when to draw back and when to insert yourself, and when not to. So you took the mindset of like, hey, maybe I'm gonna learn from this. Let me see first. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you spoke on what you did know about, which is the child concern. So and most people don't understand that. There's a lot of people in this world that they don't do that. They just insert, and they have not even had the experience. They don't understand. We're not professionals, but when you've experienced it, you're a professional in that situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right there in the head, D.
So,
Agreed.
So Edward,
And then
to
my
you,
comments, because I have my master's in psychology, so some of my comments were because of my background. Now, have I lived all of it? No, that's all book stuff. So to take what you're going through and to match it with my book stuff, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Like if I was counseling y'all, I wouldn't be like, oh, I have the psychology degree and what y'all going through is not matching what I learned, so let's fix it. I wouldn't do that. And this gave me a chance to listen to the other side, take it all in, and be like, you know what, I can see your perspective. And that also goes with conversing. Like, I'm not sitting here listening, try to give you a rebuttal. I'm listening to understand. And then if I have something that might add to it, then I'm going to put that in there. But I'm listening the whole entire time. If I'm silent, I'm listening. I'm taking it all in. And then when that little space comes in where I can give a little bit of my input, that's what I do. And that's, like I said, it's the whole reason why I like this place. I can get perspectives from 5 other people or 9 other people, whoever is on here as a guest, I can get that perspective.
Right.
And trust me, my moves are very meticulous. I did this on purpose.
Oh, I already
So
know.
We know.
well,
We know.
go ahead, D.
Sad in here.
My thing, Edward. So did you change your thought process on how we spoke about this?
It
Or
was
are you
never
still
his,
the same?
it was
No,
never his
I'm gonna tell you like
thought process. That's why I
I'm
was
tell you,
so
fuck
mad.
no. Fuck no. Like,
Then
you know,
what?
my thing
What'd you
is
say? Wait, what did Quest say?
I said that
Yeah,
was
repeat
never
that,
his
Quest.
thought process. That's why I was so mad at him in the chat. You see, I stopped talking because
I know
I'm
you
not going to
did.
do this with him. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
What?
He
Because
just
yeah.
asinine now. Like he trying
Right.
to make me mad. And so I bowed out gracefully.
Right,
And I
right.
felt like he
Because
was
he be
poking the
poking.
bear.
Yep.
Yeah, he was
He be
I was
poking the
gonna say,
bear.
you know,
That's
he
all
be
he was
stirring the
doing.
pot, right? He always
He
stirs the
knows what
pot.
was going to get going.
That's why I
Yeah.
shut up for like 2 days.
Mhm.
I ain't said nothing in like 2 days on purpose. I
Yep.
didn't
All
want
you
no-
said was, "I'm gonna wait till Friday." I said, "Me
Yeah,
too."
he
But
said
Yeah.
save it till, yeah, he said it like a father. He said save it till Friday. I'm like, yes, sir.
Yeah, he sure did. That's
But
why I was
now,
just
but
finishing
so
the comment.
D, to answer your question, did I change my thought process? No. You know, it's still fuck deadbeats. Again, I don't necessarily know. And again, so that's just me standing 10 toes down. I mean,
right, you
again,
can still stand
I
10
can rock with
toes.
that though.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna stand 10
like,
toes
we
down.
don't-
Fuck a deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the key thing about that though is that when I'm saying that all to say is when I say fuck a deadbeat, I say that to the deadbeats out there. If you're a deadbeat, that means there's never too late for you to get your shit together. You got to start
Right.
working on yourself.
Yes.
Number one. Number two,
Yes.
you got to start forgiving yourself. And put inserting myself back into this shit. And the reason why I'm having this conversation is because I was that angry kid. I was the kid that said, you know, F my father. I don't give a damn, until I actually became a father.
You
And then
still
also I
angry.
start thinking like, damn, that this shit just might be freaking hard. And then I became a
Right.
husband.
I remember you.
And I'm like, yo,
I remember you.
this is another situation where I'm like, yo, if you don't really have the foundation or the teachings or the know-it-all, this could be a scary place to be in. But luckily enough, you know, outside of my father, no disrespect, I have my grandfather, God rest his soul. He was a solid individual. Then I had my step-pops come in, and he was a solid individual. And even in the absence of my father, I learned from his mistakes. From like the homies that I used to kick it with. Truthfully, I used to sleep on Jason's floor when I was like homeless. I've learned from different males within my life to sit there and say like, yo, nobody is perfect. So when this man finally came to me and was like, hey, I want to talk to you, I was so hard on with not forgiving this dude. I hated him. I hated him with a passion, you know, because of what I went through, some of the experiences that I went through. But when he actually stepped to me, he stepped to me correct. I had no choice but to sit there and listen to this man and to forgive him. And then I had to hear his story, just like how you were saying, Quez. I heard his story. He didn't have the best example of a father. He grew up thinking that one man was his father, and come to find out it was a whole completely other dude. You know, so again, his whole life was he didn't really know. I had to give compassion and empathy to this man and show him mercy and to take my own stuff out of the situation, to give grace to this dude and to sit there and to maybe, hey, we can't be father and son because that boat has sailed. You can't sit there and tell me to go pick up my Legos or go tell me to go blow my nose or go show me how to shoot a basketball. We can start fresh and new as friends and we can build off of that. Are we perfect? No, but we're still getting there. And that's the whole thing, is because I allowed him into that space, but I allowed him to be a man to actually forgive. And that's just the whole thing I'm trying to tell somebody. So to the kids out there who are going through the situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look, your father ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Your mother ain't perfect. Your step-pops ain't perfect. They're all trying to figure it out. But at the end of the day, if you have a willing person who's trying to work to better himself, to try to be in your life, give him some mercy, give him some grace. But to the deadbeats out there, you have to be really, really willing to be in that kid's life. And I'm saying this as a step kid. If you can't come correct, then don't come the fuck at all. Stay the fuck home. Stay the fuck wherever you at. Because there's another man out there who's going to love that kid and going to do something that you ain't doing. Just get yourself right first, then come back.
Sir, can I clean that up?
Can I add something to that?
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
Funk with your own ad. Go ahead.
Damn.
Listening to what you said, sir.
He be doing
that-
the most.
All the greats I showed you today. And this is how you gonna do me in front of all these people?
Oh, why you getting hurt now? He been doing that to us, so why you getting mad? It's just your turn now. That's all.
Hey, somebody echoing crazy. Kendra, put in your
Somebody
headphones.
open the floodgates.
Hey, so I just wanted to say that that's pretty much how I handle my pops. You know what I'm saying? My real father, you know what I'm saying, I thought he left because my memories of him was being about 3 years old, holding onto my grandmother's leg, looking at my father walking away at an airport terminal, and I never really knew what was going on. The only thing that I was told by my mother was that he left. But about 27, 28 years later, I find out that actually he did leave. He was threatened by my mother. And every year on my birthday and every month for about 2 or 3 times a month, he would write me letters. And the only reason I know about those letters is because my grandmother gave me those letters. But she was complicit in the hiding of the whole entire thing. So I had to sit there and check myself because I was angry at my father when I first met him, when I went to our family reunion. And the time that I could have been spending with him, I did not want to be around him at all whatsoever. In fact, it was on that trip that I started drinking. And I think it was because I couldn't handle that. You know what I'm saying? I remember him asking me like, "Yo, why don't you want to be around this and that or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh, just because I'm hanging out with the cousins." And it wasn't that; it was just I didn't want to be around your motherfucking ass. Because the last thing I remember is at 3 years old is you walking away and you didn't even fucking give me a hug or anything. You know what I'm saying? But then he told me the only reason I couldn't do that is because police was there, and the police told me that I couldn't touch you and that I couldn't give you a kiss and I couldn't give you a hug. So the only thing that I could do was to write you. So I would write you, every couple, a couple of letters a week, and then I would send them to your grandmother, thinking that your grandmother would give me it. Well, my grandmother didn't give me anything. So after having that conversation, you know what I'm saying, I sat there and I really had to be like, damn, so I've been mad at you and I have a daughter and I've been mad at you this whole damn time and you ain't had nothing to do with any of it. And I had to look, I was forced to like retreat. I didn't talk to my dad for like almost a year because I had to figure out like, how do I let go of all that anger that I had inside of me?
Hey, you here, bro? We here. We here. We here, bro.
It's hard.
It's hard.
But you know what? You're not by yourself.
Right.
And it's crazy, bro, because like all he did was tell me like, I knew you were mad at me. I didn't know why, but I had to let you come to terms with how you were gonna bring it up because he didn't know. You know what I'm saying? In his head, all he knew was, well, I went to go see him on my graduation was when I really saw my father and spent time with my father for like that whole week. We did a whole lot of shit together. And I was still angry at his ass, but I was just happy that because I was graduating, he was there. Funny thing is that my stepdad was there, but that nigga was laid up in the cut. He didn't even want to be around, and I couldn't even figure that out. Like even my pictures is like I got pictures where like my family and my pops, and then I got like a picture with my pops, my stepdad, but like not everybody. Like so some weird shit. And I've always had problems being a father because of all those examples. Third,
Yeah.
My daughter's 27, 26, 27 now. She's about to be 27, excuse me. And that little girl, I think the only reason I'm alive today is because she shows me a love that like I didn't earn. I was a part-time dad. not because I wanted to be a part-time dad. You know,
Right.
my daughter had to like literally come visit me here and like tell me she filled me up on all the missing years.
Mm.
Like we had a conversation. We was in the porch. You know what I'm saying? And that's when she found out that's when she found out I smoked weed because we started having a conversation. I'm like, yo, you got me so fucking stressed out right now. Yeah, I gotta fucking smoke and I don't care if you don't. And she was like, I smoke too. And I was like, oh shit, well, we're not smoking together, so cancel that. Whatever. So we kept on. But she told me, bro, like every time that I tried, there was always somebody else there filling my spot when I was gone. So it was like I was the convenient nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole entire life for 19 years of trying to make my family work, I was under the impression that, yeah, this woman did carry on and did her thing when we weren't together or whatever. But there was such a web behind that like I don't wish what happened to me, I don't wish this on nobody. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of men that are out there right now that are going through the exact same shit that I went through. Because my daughter went along the lines of filling in like, yeah, when you weren't around because so and so was coming around. And when so and so wasn't coming around, so and so was coming around. And when she couldn't get this from him, then she would come and try to get you to come back into the picture. But when you started getting smart about shit, then she started fights with you. And the only reason I know that she would do this is because she told me. Bro. So it's not that she's seen this, it's that she was told this by the individual who was perpetrating all this different shit.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, and my nigga Third, you know, up until the day that I left, up until May 25th of 2014, I loved that woman. There was nothing that anybody can tell me. To this day, when my daughter tries to be disrespectful about her, I shut that shit down.
Mm-hmm.
As you should.
There's not a day, there's not a fucking day that will ever be in my presence or in earshot of me that if she says some slick shit, that I'm not gonna shut it down. And I'll remember and I'll let her know, like, dead that. You don't know the shit that your mom went through to make sure that you are who you are today.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell her, I say, you know that I wasn't there like that. But you know that when I was there, this is exactly who I was. I've been genuine with you from day one because if I'm going to lie to anybody, it is never going to be me. And if I'm going to be truthful to anyone, always, it's always going to be you. So if anybody needs to know anything about me, bam. If niggas want to know slick shit about me, bam. You want to know foul shit about me, bam. Good shit, great shit, all that, she could tell you. She will tell you. And she loves me like my mother loves me. Because my daughter, the last time that my mom took a breath, it was when I put my daughter on her chest. And it's like, fucking monitor started going all crazy and then, boom. And that little girl, it's like she has her love for me and because she understands what I've been through and because I was trying to be there no matter what, even though I didn't know that there were certain forces working against me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she has that love. And then like my mom was like, well, I'm leaving. And since she's a baby, I'm jumping into her.
She's transferring that love to your baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, we can't all cry on here though. Like you,
because I really do. Bro, this is what the platform is, right? Well, my 3 cents, is $30 now. My 3 cents is $30.
Yeah, he gave us a fucking $100 for this shit.
Like, bro, I'm over here.
Bro,
come on, bro.
And let me know your Zelle. I got you. I got every single one of y'all. Let me know your Zelles. I'll send you whatever y'all want because I know I took some shit. But just real talk. Like, you know,
this stuff though, man.
We gotta start within ourselves, man. Like, you know, when it comes to like other people exposing their parents and this and that or whatever, and us catching shit or whatever, like we gotta check. Like, yo, we really don't know the individual and what the fuck they went through. You know what I'm saying? So like,
No,
before we
and
talk any shit, no, and I'm not talking against anything that popped off. I'm just talking in general. You know, like we really gotta know, like, okay, I need to know more about you before I can talk about you because I really want to gossip and do the chiefmate with you, but I can't talk shit and call you a cabron, you know what I'm saying, if you don't deserve it. But if you deserve it, I'm slamming the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? That's male,
right,
female, non-binary, binary, however you
right, right,
identify
right.
yourself.
Bro,
Like,
Nah,
you
I hear
go get
you.
that because
I hear
that's the
you.
real shit. You know what I mean?
I hear you
You know, so
100%, man.
if
understand
we gonna
the
if we want 100% from people, we got to give 100%, and there's a lot of us who ain't ready to give 100% of ourselves, and if we can't give 100% of ourselves, we can't expect it from other people, and that's
I
pretty much
feel you.
it.
But that's
Anything
why we
else,
here.
can't stand on that.
That's why we
say
here.
that, bro,
Well,
because that's the
Yo,
truth.
so I ran out of apple juice. We had some other topics we were supposed to get into. Y'all called it.
Those are
This
next
probably
week.
was gonna be a deep one. But we got Kendra on the line. Kendra, go ahead and drop your 3 cents. But please make sure it's 3 cents. We love dollars, but we just need some 3 cents.
What up, Kendra?
It don't make
Sorry about
dollars if
that.
it don't make sense. Ain't that what the song say?
Oh, you know what? I think we might be on here. We got somebody else jumping on.
Oh, bro, you can't curve this stuff, bro. When it happens,
You know what?
We already told
I'm
you. We already told
I
you
know.
that this was
You
going to
know
be the
what? We're gonna
topic.
let it
Get on
go. I can always
screen, go
edit. I can
refill
always
your
edit what I
cup.
need to edit. We here.
Yeah, go
Hey
refill your
T,
cup,
how you
bro.
doing? Kendra, how you doing? So
Man, I was having some technical difficulties.
you good? You
You sound
sound real
good
good
now.
now, though. You sound good. How you doing?
Good. You know,
All right, T, how you doing? Mic check, T. You got your headphones? Let's test
I
you out
don't
real
have my
quick.
headphones. I'm on my laptop. Not.
Okay, yeah.
I don't have my headphones.
No, it sounds good when you on the computer or the laptop. It's just them cell phones be tricky. You good?
Yeah. All right, Kendra, go ahead and drop your 3 cents.
I kind of agree with a little bit with everybody. You know,
Right.
I had a dad that was in my life, but he wasn't that great of a father. You know, and I have a stepfather who I love very much. You know, my stepfather came into my life later on. I was probably about 17, 18 when he came into my life. But, you know, he was more of a father than my father was. You know? And he was there for every pivotal moment I needed him to be there. He was there when I graduated. He was there when I got my first apartment, bought my first car, just every moment. And my dad wasn't. And growing up, my dad was, you know, even though a lot of women grow up as single parents or, you know, like in Marquez's situation, you know, his dad wasn't in his life, but I had a dad and he wasn't in my life. You know, growing up, my mom and dad was married, but my dad was still absent. My dad didn't do nothing. He didn't go to my ballet recitals, my brother's football games. He didn't go to no parent teacher conference, none of that. He was at the house. He just wasn't involved. He only involved us in stuff that he wanted to do. Like we know how to play poker and we know how to fish because those are things he liked. And that be dad. And, you know, I almost didn't want to come on because I still have some issues with him because, like, you know, he died 3 years ago. And, you know, that's still hard for me to get through. But we found out he was dying, and 1 month later he died. And during that whole month, I was there. I was there for him, watched him die, took care of him, everything. And, you know, that's hard for me. And then, but prior to that, he went and married. He got a mail order bride and from the Philippines and had 2 kids with her, but treated them better than he ever did me and my brother. And, you know, I watched that happen. And all they did was run him in the mud. They took advantage of him. They treated him dirty. They dogged him out. They did everything. But he still loved them more than he loved us. And it was hard to watch. And hard to watch how they treated him. And so I didn't come around. as much, and I lost a lot of respect for him. Like if somebody asked me, I would tell you I love my stepfather more than I love my real dad. But I still loved my dad. I just didn't have the respect for him at all. Like I would cuss around him, you know, we'd make jokes, call him twine and niggas and, you know, all this stuff. But he was just like the homie instead of my dad. And then when he was dying, he wanted to tell me that he apologized for putting his wife before, you know, me. But why you say that when you dying? And then he didn't
because
tell.
that's when life gets real.
But then
when
he
you're on
didn't
the way
say
out.
it. He had my sister tell me that when he's sitting right there. Why you didn't say it?
Hey, man.
And you know, I didn't want to come on.
Embarrassed?
I didn't want to cry because I still have issues with that. But and I probably need therapy. I know, but it's a lot.
Right.
You know.
I appreciate you for sharing. Definitely appreciate you for sharing.
Yeah, that was definitely deep.
That was man. So you grew up. I just want understanding, like before we move on, because there's some things I need to understand. Because if not, it's gonna rack my brain for the rest of the night. Promise you, I'm gonna be thinking about it. So you grew up with both your parents till you was about 18.
No, my parents married and divorced twice. My mom married him. My mom married him and divorced him probably when I was about maybe 7. They got divorced, and then she married him again, maybe a year or 2 later, and then they divorced for the last time when I was 11.
Okay, so like up to 11, you had your dad in the house.
So from 11 to 18, from 11 to 18, then at 18, then the new poppy came in, right?
Then the stepdad came in.
Stepdad
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I
was thinking, I was figuring the same thing too, dog. I just didn't want to say that.
Here, because I'm trying to understand it. I just you fucked me up when you said he was in the house, but he was the deadbeat dad. That part kind of threw me off. Like,
so
I started thinking
from birth to about 11.
I know somebody like that too, bro. I know somebody like that. I cannot be around them. I cannot. I go visit, and it's just like the dude is there, and then like the kids is doing whatever, and sometimes the kids is trying to get his attention, and he's just there, and I take over. You know what I'm saying? I'm Uncle Jay. You know what I'm saying?
I will say,
but like,
from
bro, like
11 to 18, I didn't talk to him because that when they divorced the last time, he put hands on my mama, and I saw my mama's face. I wouldn't talk to him for years until I was about maybe 18, 19.
So the last time you spoke to him was when he was about to die.
Yeah, but
no, no closure.
From 18 on, then we, you know, I'd see him, we talk and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like when he was on his deathbed, you didn't get no closure still, because that would have sounded like. No. It sounded like you still didn't get no closure because he told your sister something and she told you.
Yeah.
And that shit still sound like it bothered you.
Yes, it does.
I don't know. I'm not the psychologist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just asking.
You're right.
You know, because
well, my thing would be
my biggest fear.
But Quest, think about it.
Kids don't have no closure when I leave. Like, bro, that's fucked up.
No, I still
don't. No, but Quest, think about it. No, but Ma, you did get closure. Not the closure you needed, but there was closure in that. Because there's a validation maybe to something that you had in the back of your mind as to whether or not you were important enough. And if you're telling, and if based on what you said that he told your sister to tell you,
maybe because
that's valid.
You wouldn't have accepted it. You know?
That nigga was
maybe he was. No, that's what, and that's where I'm going. And I'm 100% on your side on this one. Trust, watch. So, but the validation is that you already knew that there was I'm not important enough. So you already can then take that energy because somebody ain't trying to give it to you, and then give it to the people that are giving you that energy. And then you focus on the people that love you, the people that
Yes.
mind you,
Yes.
the people that hit you up in the morning and say, "Hey, good morning, mom. Just checking on you, make sure you're good."
Right.
And you don't hear from them again all day, but every morning and it might be somebody different. Those people that are checking on you, those people that are mindful of you, those are the people that are supposed to be around you to begin with. I, for a long time, pushed away the people that minded me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm speaking kind of like from your edge a little bit. You know what I mean? When I say that, because it's like when I started minding people back and I started noticing that it's the people that check on me and I'm checking on them that made my balance feel right. And like I sprung out of bed feeling great. You know what I'm saying? Ready to tackle the world and do what I needed to do. But then when I will go and check for people that weren't checking for me, and then I felt unbalanced, and then my day was all crazy and fucked up, and then I was in a bad mood snapping at everybody. Who was I helping? And who was I allowing the influence to be placed upon me more if I know that if I believe in Christ and if I believe in God, that I'm supposed to be on the positive side and the positive energy of things. I can't be focused around with the people that ain't checking for me. And I'm not being mean about that. I'm just saying that it's okay if I'm not important enough for you to check for me in your life. You got things that you gotta focus on. So focus on that. And I still love you. Just focus on that. I ain't mad. But the people that are checking for me, I'm gonna check on you every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hold it down. I got a person right now that for the last week I've been checking on consistently, just showing them that I got their back, that I love them, that I'm holding them down, and that no matter what we have as a friendship and what we might have had as a couple and what we might have had as whatever, I'm still in there in that fashion, whether we're together or not. You know what I'm saying? Because we made a baby and that baby's no longer here. You know what I'm saying? So like, check the people that check for you. Those are the people that are supposed to love you. Don't be mindful and don't be worried if your pops didn't give you that extra, because you know what? God went ahead and placed a step out into your life for you to be able to give that energy that you wanted to give the real one. You were able to focus and give off that energy so you can get it off your heart. Because if you couldn't get it off your heart, it was going to continue to bother you. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So that's my 3 cents for you based on everything that you said and how you're looking right now at the camera.
Bro, this is drop your 3 cents, not pass out 3 cents. I just wanted to let that be known.
Right.
I'm
When I
just
say
that you came in here, got real light skin on us.
Put it to you like this. What everything that you just heard coming out of my mouth was not me talking.
No,
I'm just gonna leave you like that.
No. We appreciate
none
it.
of this. None of this was me speaking, but you
Oh,
needed
no,
to
I
hear
got
that.
you. I got you.
No, you dropped real wisdom right there. I appreciate you. I was just joking.
Real talk. Hey, but I gotta acknowledge we have another person in the house, T. You know, I'm sorry, you know, you've been patient. Thank you. What are your 3 cents?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
We hear
ma'am.
you perfect.
Hey, you good.
I'm sorry, I was having a whole lot of echoing, so I had to figure that part out.
Headphones.
As far as I don't have a stepdad, so I can't really comment on that part. I can only comment on the fact that, like, I do have a donor for my child's father, should I say, and I really don't try to speak negative anything when it comes down to him. He doesn't ask about him or anything like that, but if it comes down to it, I have all his information. He can seek out if that's something that he wants to do. I've always been open doors, should I say, because it was, for me, it was never about the money. I don't care about the money. I'm taking care of him on my own anyway. For me, it was more about the physical, emotional, and mental support that my son needs for a young Black man that he doesn't get, that I'm trying to find it in other avenues. And that's all I really wanted for him. Child support, I see all these women that actually do got men that want to be in their child's lives, and I'd be ready to strangle their ass, because I have the total opposite. Like, you want to keep your child away from the child's father because he got another girl or whatever the other case may be. It's not about that. It's about your child. And you just don't understand, like, if I can be in that boat to where he wanted to be there, take him. Like, I deal with this 365 days a year. My son's about to be 15, and I would do anything to have his male, his father there by, physically. That's all I wanted, physically, emotionally, and mentally for him, because now it's all like jumbled up. It's my fault type of thing. And that's how I feel because of some of the things that he does sometimes. But, and I know it's something that he's probably juggling with now that he is becoming a teenager, somewhat almost an adult, a young adult. So it's a lot of things that I have to cope with and try to figure out how to get him to talk. Because a lot of men, as stated, don't talk. They really don't. And my son is one of them. He doesn't talk. If he does, it ain't to me. So, and for him to even open up and say that he wants a counselor is already big enough for me to reach out and go do what I need to do as a mom and try to do what I can, because maybe that might get him to where he is okay with some of the stuff that he has to deal with when it comes down to the other side. And then, of course, even though he's not around, his siblings are. And to find out he went from number 2 to number 5 by going to court, and then finding out that he's one of 9 after I found out from his second sister, the second oldest one. So it's a lot that's been coming out through some of his other family. And the first thing he does after 10 plus years is WhatsApp me and tell me, why are you talking about me? Instead of trying to ask, how's my son doing? And I had to, go off and tell him, your name is damn sure not in my mouth. Trust and best believe that. And for me, I was just more like, okay, that's the first thing you're going to say, but you're not going to see how your child's doing. Like, you haven't talked to him in 13 years. Like, what are we doing here? And so for me, when it comes down to having a step parent in there, I do feel like I'm open to being able to have that male figure for my son, because he does not have that now. And you don't want to step on the toes and the boundaries. And I saw the video about it. And I know there's a lot of background that we don't know with the situation. We only see the little snippets of it. And so there has to be a respect boundary, regardless of what the situation is. And first of all, the child was sitting right there. So whatever had to be done should have been separately away from the child. The child shouldn't have had to been there to witness any of that, because first of all, regardless, that is his biological father. He's going to figure out whether he's going to want to deal with his biological father or not, just like my child is. And I leave it open and open doors, period, point blank and simple. You either want to deal with him or don't. I'm not going to make that decision. We have all these parents that say, and we don't know the background, but I know moms that actually keep their child away from their dad, and it looks like X, Y, and Z. And that's what the child only knows about what the mom is telling them. They don't know what the real background, like, I really have been trying to be there for you. I really been trying to do X, Y, and Z, but then your mom is really not letting me do this. And I've seen it. I've been around it. And it hurts me because, of course, I'm in the opposite boat where the father doesn't want to be around. And you have somebody that does, and you're holding him back from being able to have that relationship. And then when that happens, then of course, that's where the son is now not wanting to be around. Oh, I don't want to care about him, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. So that's just my little 3 cents, because that's just a little something that I've been dealing with. And some of the little snippet that I see, I just feel like they could have put the kids in the house. We can talk like adults, but all that other stuff around the kids, I just don't like that part, because they have nothing to do with it either. They have nothing to do with it, period.
You still came on here and dropped $3, but we're going to let you slide tonight.
You always talking shit anyway, so whatever. I could have said 2 words and you would have said the same damn thing.
I would have said something. No, but real life advice. Because you finna go through it. You say 15?
He'll be 15 in February.
Yeah, you finna go through it.
I'm already
Yeah.
Yeah, you finna catch. It's unfortunate. I can only speak from experience. you moms, like you're gonna catch the brunt of that.
Correct.
You're gonna catch the brunt of that aggression. Right, wrong, and that you really don't have to do nothing. He's just gonna take it out on you. So don't get caught up as much as you could possibly fight it off. You know what I mean? I know it's probably hard for y'all as moms. I'm not a mother, so I don't know. But he finna give you hell, and I hope he doesn't. But from the scenario that you laid on the table, I see he's finna bring some issues. But the good thing is, your son is emotionally intelligent enough to know that he needs counseling, and
right.
That is a huge step.
Which is really huge because at that age, I wasn't thinking about counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put some comment. I damn at 15, I wasn't thinking about counseling. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing I was thinking about at that age was rebellion. Like, again, I didn't have. So my grandfather had died. My step pops and my mom, they divorced, and and again, like I wasn't having no contact with my father. I was on my own. So my whole thing was about rebellion. I wasn't thinking about trying to get counseling or trying to get help. I was angry. So anybody, if you said something wrong to me, I was trying to fight you. And I fought. I got suspended a lot for fighting.
You did.
Burn it all. That's what
You
time we was on in high school. It was burn it all. You know what I'm saying?
I almost got expelled for trying to fight a teacher. You know what I'm saying?
Rome must burn today. That's what we was on.
I think, like, as of right now, the only thing I have an issue with him for right now is we never been able to get back from COVID, and he started his 6th grade, aka preteen, and it was all from home. And then on top of that, with him having ADHD, I just haven't been able to get him back on track. So the only issue I have now, pray for nothing else, but the only issue I have right now is mainly just him focusing in school and grades. Like, that's literally all I have right now. And for me to work for a school district and I can help everybody else's kid, I'm like, damn, I can help my own. Jesus, honey. Like, I've been in the district for almost 17 years, and I'm like, I'm helping all these other kids, all these other parents, all these other mothers, and I just don't.
You know why it's not working for him? It's not working for him because you're his mom.
Yeah. That's what everybody says.
It's never exactly what you do for all the rest of them kids. Their mom can't do for them either.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, what were you saying, D? I'm sorry.
What I did with my son, this might work for you. I'm not sure. I always had like an uncle or my cousin or someone that I knew that my son did fear. You know what I mean? Because if they don't have no fear in them, and it's not a point of, just beating on him or snatching, but sometimes at that age, my son was trying me. Like 16, he thought he had some big balls, like for real. And I felt myself grabbing that broomstick, and I really didn't want to kill that child. So you have to come with, someone that I would always reach out and have him spend a day with my uncle or with even my girlfriend's husband or, things like that. And then I always popped up at the school, like junior high.
I do that.
Popped up.
Yes, ma'am.
I do that. I does that.
Yeah.
Period.
I'd be like, what's
I
up,
do
dog?
that.
You work for the school district.
Because I want him to know.
Oh, I do. I leave. Like his high school is like 2 minutes from my job. I'll be back.
Right.
And I already talked to the principal. I already talked to the assistant principal. They already know. They gave me permission to pop up, so they already know I will pop up real quick, and he knows I will pop up.
That you can pop up at any time. That if he do anything, I can pop up at any time. And then see, my nephew had ADHD bad. I mean, this fool would get in trouble. If he got in trouble on Monday and got his butt whooped, he still act up on Wednesday. Like, that's just how bad it was. And like now, my nephew, he didn't have like friends that he hung with. He got in trouble on his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, he climbed up on the roof of the school. He's supposed to be in PE, and he up here setting off alarms. You know what I'm saying? He in junior high. So
that don't sound like ADHD. That sounds like
he had ADHD. He could not pay attention at all. Like, his attention span is not there. And ADHD is a certain, they don't think, they just act on impulse.
On the roof and started
you know what I mean?
Shooting bombs
because he felt like doing something. He just thought he was just a class clown, but he was smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could do PowerPoints and all this stuff, and had a PowerPoint with the like the kids would do a PowerPoint on their computer, and he would make a PowerPoint with the principal sitting there with the lollipop in it between his legs, and make the teacher walk over and suck that. That's how he would think.
Excuse?
Oh, and he wouldn't even delete it.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
What's wrong with the teacher?
Can we repeat that one
What's
more
wrong
time?
with the teacher? The teacher walked over and sucked it. What's wrong
And
with
that's
the
how he
teacher?
made his PowerPoint. It wasn't the teacher.
W-T to the F.
He
What
made a
the-
PowerPoint where the teacher walked over. So
Oh, okay.
Oh, it was a
Yeah, I lost
PowerPoint.
you
I
for a
was like,
second.
hold
I
on,
was
wait a
like,
minute.
what
Rewind.
the hell?
Back it up.
Oh.
And so
Okay.
Those are the kind of kids that my family used to work with.
And see, like
Okay.
now he's
Yeah.
26. And
Right.
if you don't, and when
He
was
don't
at
got
my house
ADHD.
in the
That boy on the
summertime,
spectrum.
I had no problem with him in the summertime when he come to visit me, because you have to change up. Like I always tell my sister and her husband, because they were married. It's a 2-parent household. You have to change up sometimes how you chastise. Sometimes they know you're gonna fuss, so it ain't gonna matter. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
instead, when he come to my house, I show him a box of matches. I'm gonna set your ass on fire. So you go ahead and act the fool in my
Point
house.
blank.
I never
Point
had
blank.
no problems. You
Point
know what I'm
blank.
saying?
And you wonder why
Alrighty.
the
Point
roof
blank.
setting
Point
on
blank.
fire and shit. You didn't threaten to set the
Period.
man
He
on
would have-
fire during the
he would
summer,
have-
and you didn't send him back to the school. You know what I'm saying? After you done
Alrighty,
threatened-
then. And on that note,
What? D, we gonna
So my
talk.
point is
D,
that
I
you
don't
know
know
you know
why
everybody
we gonna have
can
this.
hear you,
We gonna
right?
have to have this one-on-one talk, B. Come on
Yeah,
now.
don't-
girl, you
I'm
got
gonna need to
hit
know
me
them
after this.
secrets, honey.
Yeah, you
Nah,
got to hit me after this.
real talk. D giving out real advice though. It is good
Because
for
you have
young
to get
men to have a
it's
healthy amount of
psychological
fear.
thing.
Unless
Yeah.
you have
ADHD.
a mind like mine. If
And
you
I
got-
mean, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
otherwise
Like
you're
I
gonna
have my
have
brother
problems.
here, but he's all the way in Oceanside, so and then he works literally like 7 days a week. So it's like
Right.
really hard. And like I said, I'm not from here, so a lot of my family are not even out here. So
Right.
they East Coast people and down south. So I don't have a lot of people out here. My brother is the only one that's out here.
Where you go to
And
church?
a lot of the stuff that I do now is he does Blue Heart, which is a program for teen boys from 13 to graduation. So he's been in that for like 2 years, just so I can have the male bondage that he needs, especially around his age. And so we're working on that specific part. He was in the Boys and Girls Club, but of course, the ones that I got, it was very hard when you're being picky. I don't want to say picky, but when you break down,
Boys
okay,
and
he
Girls
can't
Club
smoke,
ain't
he
it.
can't do this, he can't do that, he can't. It was very hard, and then wanting them to be black at the same time. Damn near all of them smoke weed, so it was hard for me to really like. I didn't want to lay it on the riverside, but I'm like, okay, let me like relax my standards a little bit. So he had one good big brother. He just wasn't African American.
Right. Are you
that
in
was the only thing, but he had a male figure, so I was okay with that.
Right.
But I mean, so
I'm about to say, like, you can't negate that man if he a good role model just because he ain't black.
No, I didn't.
It
But this
might
is the thing.
benefit
That's what
your
I'm saying.
son to have a different perspective.
I never negated him. He was with him until he ended up leaving because he got promoted. He would have still been with him. I still talk to him to this day.
So he went from big brother to stepdaddy. Okay, he got a promotion.
He got a promotion with him in his job. So
He
he's
got
no longer in San Diego. I'm done with you. He's no longer in San Diego. He lives in LA.
Right.
So so it was just one of those things that I did not want to. He was still a man. It was at the end of the day, he was still a man. So at the end of the day, he was still able to do what he needed to do for my son. But now that my son is older, I wanted to have those standards where he had to be African American, because my son is at that age where he needs to learn a lot of things. I can tell him all the time, like, if you get pulled over by the police officer, if you get this, you get that. I can tell him all day, but I still need him to have that African American male to give him the other perspectives that I can't.
Where y'all at?
Huh?
Where are you at?
I live in El Cajon, outskirts of San Diego.
Oh yeah, you need it. Let me know, because I have friends out there as well.
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna have to
boys
look
clubs,
for you.
And they can
I be up north. Don't get me wrong, I be up north, but it's just not as often because my brother's half the time not home, and so that's what I do. Like that's what we do now. It's just Blue Heart, and then but
you gotta be careful because he might be on El Cajon Boulevard.
No. We don't do that. We don't do that. When I
Some
say
of the
attach
role
to
models ain't really role models. You got to
well,
watch
that's what I'm
out for
saying.
them.
Word,
That's why he
word,
only
word,
if
word,
might be out there
it's not
sending something.
word.
if it's not somebody that's in Blue Heart, if it's not somebody in Blue Heart or my brother, I don't do that. My son was abused when he was 3 years old. I'm anal as shit. I don't play that shit with my child.
Do
So
he
I don't
play
let
sports? He
anybody.
don't play no sports or nothing?
A lot of the sports now he can't do because he don't have the GPA. He doesn't have the GPA. They at his school now, they want him in soccer, they want him in volleyball, but because of his grades, he cannot do it.
Right.
I already know he was playing it when he was younger, but now that he have to have a GPA requirement, they will not allow him to do it. So right now he does step because it's part of the Blue Heart Foundation that he's in. So we do step practice, and actually he has a event coming up on the 16th. So we're doing that, but that's literally all he can do right now because he doesn't get his grades up in order for him to play sports. They don't play that shit in high school. And I keep trying to tell him that. He don't listen.
Where his old coaches at?
Gone. His old coaches was when he was younger, when they didn't have a GPA
I mean, the GPA part don't matter. He
a lot of them are gone.
He has a healthy respect for them, though. That's what I was going to ask. I'm pretty
a lot
sure
of
he
them
has
are
a
gone.
healthy respect for the coaches. A lot of times, young men that gravitate towards coaches or you know what I'm saying, individuals that we do extracurricular activities to because they spend time with us, whether it just be for an hour or 2 hours a day. That's important to us. So
choir teachers.
A lot of them are gone. A lot of them are gone, or they moved. Some of them are in one of them is in Temecula, and then one of the guys from high school. I did his football stuff like 2 years, but he didn't like it, so I wasn't wasting $500 each year for him not to. He didn't want to do it, so I haven't seen him since he was like 6 years old. So, I mean, they're around, but they're just not around close enough, should I say?
Okay. I'm just asking. I'm trying to help you.
Oh,
work through
no,
it.
no problem. I don't mind you asking.
Yeah, I didn't want to be in your business. I was just.
I'm an open book. Trust me, the stuff that I've been through. If I could really break down the whole background, y'all be like, wait, what a minute, I got a whole Maury Povich situation over here going on. So, trust me.
You already gave us good business. Good business. My cousin says. He says, "I see you." Good business says, "I see you. Keep it up. Proud of you." That's from my cousin. Good business.
Thank you.
But man,
okay.
Yo, it's been a deep show.
We never got to no other topics. Thanks to
I was trying.
I was
trying
this
like
on
an hour
Third.
ago.
This is all his fault.
I was trying an hour ago to go to the other ones, but damn.
No, you started this.
I told
you. You did this.
But it's a good conversation though, because it seems like
Quez's word of the day is accountability, sir.
Come on.
I need you to be accountable for bringing up this topic, poking people in the chat, and then coming on the show acting like you don't know what happened. So I need you to be
right. Right. You can't poke the bear and act like you didn't do it.
That's why I don't even comment until the show now. I don't even comment until the show comes up now. I'll say
you did this. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was healthy. Man.
It was good.
It was really good.
No.
It was healthy.
I loved it.
You know what I mean, thank you for
with
all the people that came on and shared. You know what I'm saying? Jay came in with his I'll be short energy and made everybody tear up. You know what I mean? We appreciate that.
But on a serious note, serious note.
I ain't seen my guy in a long time.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Yeah,
on a serious note.
You got it.
Serious note. Serious. Like Jay, so again, you shared me the situation that's going on. I can relate to that, man. So again, my prayers are with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold your head, you and your lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough. And we were talking about being a father and especially losing a child, man. So definitely keep your head up. Kendra, we appreciate you. We've heard about what you've been going through, from the jump. You know what I'm saying? And Tanisha will be praying for you. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? But again, Jay, man, you hit it on the head, man. It was a lot. I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting just to get a healthy dialogue, but I didn't expect for us to unpack and to actually just, really start just getting some healing, getting some understanding from this conversation. I just thought it was going to be a heated one. We was going to have our little words and boom, we was gonna move on. But I think this has been definitely an eye opener, definitely educational, definitely something that, you know, hopefully people can take away and learn from.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So, but again, man, you're definitely in my prayers. I'm always gonna have empathy for that, man. You're definitely in my
our
prayers.
condolences. You know what I mean, brother, that's a rough campaign. You know what I mean? So
Right.
sorry to hear that. Yeah. It's happened to me too. So it definitely, you on mute. You gotta unmute yourself. You muted him?
Yeah, no, he muted himself.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta unmute.
Yeah, you gotta unmute. We ain't hear you, brother.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good.
All right, bet. I'm not trying to bring no Ali Short energy, so let me just chill. You always with the light skin juice, bro.
It's only because I love you, man. It's only because I love you, bro.
Nah, bro, listen, man. Like, I'm totally good. Like, it's weird because like it was I thought like I couldn't have any more kids. You know what I'm saying? So like when I found out, it was like, what? Like me, and then I'm in the upper echelon of age, so I was like whoa, like hold on a second. But then like my first thought wasn't like, all right, let me talk to Shorty and like let's see what we gonna do, and like you want to keep. It was none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm the last. I'm the last of my family. You know what I'm saying? There's no more men after me. I have a daughter. You know what I'm saying? And my blood is in her. You know what I'm saying? But the minute that she has a child, there's somebody else's blood that's carrying on. You know what I mean? So like my bloodline stops here. So like I was thinking, all right, I'm gonna have a kid, right? So then I found out what happened, and like I got all fret about that, you know what I'm saying? But in my head, I'm like, okay, we got a king coming, you know what I'm saying? I got to get this ready. I got to get that ready, you know what I'm saying? I've had a run, you know what I'm saying, at like fatherhood, so I know what to do and what not to do, you know what I'm saying? While still, you know what I'm saying, doing it in a way that will still honor my daughter and the love that I have for her, you know what I'm saying? And then boom, man, like stuff started happening, and then one thing came to the next. You know what I'm saying? It's like right when we were getting, when we were accepting, yeah, like, yo, this is real. Like this baby's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, something else, came about being. So like, I can't be mad. I could just, I have to be understanding that God has a say in all of this. You know what I'm saying? And like, at least I know now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I ever want a child, like, I don't got to worry about whether or not I can not have one. Like, I know I can. You know what I mean? And me and my girl is not together. Like this to her, like did something different. You know what I mean? Like it went from like talking all the time, having good times all the time. You know what I'm saying? We was together. We was a couple. So like, yeah, we argue about little petty shit, but we were always, we never like, what I've learned from past experiences is like, I never let a bad night end bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too proud that if it was me being wrong, that I would admit to that and be 100 with it, or if a conversation needed to be had to like straighten everything out, like I was always the one that was like, yo, let's clear everything up. You know what I'm saying? So that when we get up in the morning, everything is good to go and we can do what we're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Teamwork. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that just from my past relationships. You know what I'm saying? And experience. So like, the baby's not coming. That's the only thing that I can say. You know what I'm saying? And I hit you up first, B, because it's like in my head, I'm like, yo, like I don't know what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then automatically, like my first thought was like, I'm gonna hit Cuzzo up and see what kind of like advice he could like offer me, and like keep moving from that. So that's why I hit you. You know what I'm saying? And this is the first time I'm even talking about this. Like, not really that many people know. Like, even the stuff that I put out there has been so coded. Like, fucking call me James Bond, because like I've had people like hit me up like, yo, what's going on, this, that, and the next, and they can't tell that I'm talking about like what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I did a song about it just because like that's the only thing that I know to do.
It's therapy, man. Like I said, man. Like I told you in private, I'm here for you. I understand why I had to go through what I went through, was so I could be here for you to give you that advice. Because again, you know, without that proper guidance, without that knowledge, you know what I'm saying, it'll break you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was at my breaking point. Like, you know, I don't know what it's like to lose a child inside of a womb. You know, my child was born with his heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? And so to sit up there and the proudest moment of your day is looking down at somebody who look exactly like you. And then just to know that just within a few hours later, he's going to die. And there's nothing that you can do. So I was powerless. You know, I felt I was mad at God. I was mad at myself, more importantly. That's what I was saying. I started to learn how to have empathy for my own father, because, again, I could see how you get mad at yourself in those situations where you feel like you can't do something, you're helpless. And you know what I'm saying? And the easiest thing that you can do, the easiest thing that you can start thinking about is checking out. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be, you know, taking yourself out like physically, or just, you know, going to the bottle or going to drugs or going to whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you don't turn to God, then you're gonna break. And the only thing that I could do was, even in my anger with God, was I had to lean on him. But with that being said, man, the best thing I could tell you is that, you know, I know that your lady, you know, you say you and your lady aren't together no more, or you guys aren't rocking together. Just the one thing I'm gonna tell you to do as a man is to try to empathize and put yourself in her shoes. And that's the one thing that I didn't realize, and I took for granted, is that you got to realize that this woman sat up there, was carrying this thing that was inside. She felt the fluttering, you know what I'm saying? She felt the emotions. She was getting connected to this child, and she's getting ready to have this child. And for her to sit up there and to lose that child, you know, there's so many things about that's going on within her right now to where she's feeling insecure. She's probably not feeling like she's a whole woman. She's feeling like there's something wrong with her. She's probably feeling like she let you down. It's like an array of emotions that's going on within her. So the best thing I could tell you, my best advice is to, you know, start, you know, praying, start understanding, start seeking help. You know, therapy, is nothing wrong with therapy. Black men, if you need to, get therapy. But the one thing that you need to do is just to really just put yourself inside of her shoes for 1 minute as a man, and just to kind of just empathize with her, and just to be there for her emotionally, for whatever it is that she needs. Be her support. Even if you guys aren't together, just make sure that you help her get through, because right now she's breaking down inside, and she's going to have an emotional breakdown, and she's not feeling it right now, because she lost something that was important. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the one thing, is that you guys need to be there for each other. That's something that you guys share together as an experience. Even in your guys' split, my advice to you is that if you willing enough to have a child with her, and to sit up there and to prepare to have a child, then I advise you to still love her even within this difficult time. You know what I'm saying? Like, empathize, have
Most
compassion, and just be
definitely.
there for each other. You know?
Most definitely. You know what's funny, man, is you say that is because, you know, that's exactly what I've been doing. You know, which is not my brag. You know what I mean? Like, I've been totally like, yo, I got your back. Teamwork. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whatever you need to let out. If you gotta scream, if you gotta cry, if you need a hug, like, I'm not here. I'm here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know, whenever you need it, all you gotta do is hit me. You don't even gotta hit me. Just think about me. I'm there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's the only thing I could be like. I know her story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Right.
move different. I move different with her. Like, I wanted her to get to know me. I wanted her to get to know me, and I wanted to get to know her. And the only way that was going to happen is if we didn't see an interest in anything else but to getting to know one another. That means kick sex out the door, all that. I was not interested. Like, I was not interested. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm at a stage in my life where if we're gonna make something happen, I need to make sure that I'm making something happen for the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
However long that run is.
That's
You know
what I'm saying, man. You just
So
continue to
like
be
I
there
got to
for
know she's a fighter, bro. I'm holding her down, bro. It's no doubt about that. Like she's a
no
fighter.
doubt. The
She survived
key
a
thing I'm
lot.
getting ready to
Been through
tell
a
you,
lot.
the most important thing I'm gonna tell you is to be there for her. And in return, if you need somebody to be there for you, you can come to us, you can come to God, you can go to a therapist, you can go to a pastor. But if you need the quick remedy, you got us right here. And again, we got you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the most important thing right there. You know what I'm saying? Be there for her. Know that you got her, but know also that we got you. But more importantly, know that God got you also,
Appreciate that. Yeah, I know God got me, bro. I gotta remember that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
Right.
sometimes that you're right. You think about checking out. You know what I'm saying? It's not the first time I've thought about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's rough.
Lean
But
on
like
God, bro. Lean on God.
that's
But,
all I did. Fact.
Yeah,
I
we
feel
got
you,
you.
man.
We got you.
We here. But I
You can always
appreciate
hit my
everybody.
line.
Huh?
No, I was telling you, he can always hit my line. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
available
You
too.
inbox me. Yeah, just
That's
let
what
me
God
know.
has us here for. Because
I'm pretty
Quez, you
sure
went through it too.
the ladies got you too. If
The
you need a
ladies, I'm
different
pretty sure they
perspective.
went through it too. Like I said, man, we all know we're here. We got you.
Maybe not
So,
D. She don't look like she want to help you, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm in pain right now because I feel I was scared. So I'm in pain right now.
I seen you get up and grab your
That
back.
was me
No, I seen that.
yesterday. That was
Yeah, I
me
seen you
yesterday.
do that.
Jesus.
You okay though? For real, D?
No, I gotta go get some X-rays. I was throwing up last night a whole lot, so I don't know if something internal done happened. So I gotta see tomorrow
get
morning.
your
I
ass to
gotta
the
hit.
hospital ASAP, please.
Right, for real.
I'm going at 6 in the morning.
Like first thing.
Keisha saw my bruise thing. Girl, it's bad.
Man,
Yeah, I
get
did,
your
girl.
take care of yourself. Get
Yes,
yourself to
go
the hospital
please.
ASAP and keep us posted.
Oh,
But
now is Jason? Are you certified? Is that the one that's
No,
certified?
that's not certified.
No.
Okay. We got
So,
certified for what?
but not financially.
No. She's talking about certified West.
I'm certified crazy. Yeah, I'm certified crazy.
Look, you finna run his resume
No,
down.
we ain't
No,
about to do
thank
all
you,
that.
sir.
Anyway, all right, y'all. This is definitely my fault. I didn't expect for it to go the way that it did.
All right.
I'll take responsibility and accountability. It's been a deep one. definitely a deep one, an emotional roller coaster. We laughed, we cried, we warred. You know what I'm saying? It was everything in one. So for those that are still tuned in, I appreciate you. And for those that are still tuned in, I appreciate you. I really, really, really do.
And T, I'm serious. If you really need some help, let me know. I have no problem with it. I do with the youth a lot, to where I try to act like I'm their homie or whatever. But really, let me know. I don't play it when it comes about them kids. Trust me.
Word. On that note, if we want to still chop it up, we'll still be right here in this. We'll still be right here in the studio if we want to talk. That's cool. But I'm about to go ahead and end the live because we're heading on 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we will.
Good night.
This has been long. I try to do it for like an hour, at least an hour and a half. But damn, but it's been a good one. It's been informative. It's been eye opening. Hopefully, it's been healing. But I love each and every one of y'all. We could still talk in the studio if we need to, but we're gonna go ahead and end the live. All right, y'all. Love you. Catch you on the next one. We'll continue this because we definitely got to talk about the social media ruin relationships, the impact it has on kids, or maybe something new will pop up next week. I don't know. We'll figure it out, like we always do. Anyway, I'll catch y'all later.
You
Peace.
never know.
Peace out.
Oh man.